Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Classified Captures. Steve here, and today I've got a collection of clips ranging from cryptid sightings to glitches in our matrix that may just leave you shocked yet craving more. Ready? Let's jump in. Starting today's episode, we got a chilling Trailcam footage that was only captured about 4 months ago. Typically, trail cams are set up to record the unique wildlife that live in a geographical area. But as you can see from the clip playing on your screen, we have practically captured something else, and as much as I would love to tell you it's all purely coincidental, it's not. This camera was set up in a remote region near a river because people had allegedly been disappearing around the river. Some speculated that spirits could be behind the disappearances, whilst others thought it was nothing more than a coincidence. Looking about this footage, however, I bet we can all agree that those disappearances definitely have something to do with these odd-looking creatures. Speaking of odd-looking creatures, what do you guys think we're dealing with here? Aaron suggests they might be spirits of the river punishing the people for a misdeed. Julius suggests it's nothing more than a couple of guys in a costume making fun of the townspeople. Usually, I'm tempted to pick Julius's side of the argument, but a closer look at the clip will show you that eyes that reflect the light in the environment. The thing about those eyes is they are not human-sized. This has many of our team members thinking that we may indeed be dealing with some paranormal beings. What we don't know or can't tell you is their reason for showing up and if they're responsible for the disappearances in the area. But what do you guys think? Have you ever been out for a drive and seen strange things? Did they look anything like this? Yep, I don't know what that is. The individual who uploaded the clip stated he was out there for a drive with family when they spotted this strange-looking object in the sky. The more he looked, the more he was convinced that the object had to be some sort of being looking down from the sky. I've looked at the clip a couple of times, and it looks like some sort of humanoid animalistic creature. Think of a goat with a human body, but then again, it could just be pareidolia and me seeing what I want to see. Julius thinks the image was superimposed onto the clip, which is basic terms meaning it's fake. Aaron isn't very sure and wants more time to confirm what he's seeing. Some individuals who commented on the original post thought it was some sort of projection in the sky. All these sound far-fetched with the exception of Julius's point. As much as I would want to dismiss them, I've learned in this line of work that nothing in our world is what it seems to be. Anyway, you guys have seen the clip, so what do you think? Looks like a screenshot form of an alien movie, doesn't it? Well, the individual who uploaded it states it's not, and that he took this picture himself near Sedona in Arizona. Now, if you're not familiar with the location, it's been described by both those who have visited and lived there as one of the most active extraterrestrial aircraft sighting zones in North America. The lights in the image look like they belong to the bottom part of an alien mothership. Based on the formation, it could be one very large craft or a couple of crafts attached together and flying in unison. He stated he didn't hear any strange sounds but saw occasional flashes, which prompted him to take the picture. The lights are allegedly more pronounced in the image than they were in person. He thinks they may have been using some sort of cloaking device. If his words are to be believed, this is indeed massive. Aaron thinks it's real and is willing to go check the place out. If you guys think that's a good idea, let us know in the comments section. If we register a lot of individuals interested in us visiting Arizona in search of an alien experience, then we'll indeed visit the place and do just that. Just write "Visit Arizona" in the comments section, and if we can register at least 100 comments stating that, then Aaron moves to Arizona for at least 2 weeks in search of aliens. I've always known that drinking water left in a car for too long, especially in heat, isn't recommended due to potential chemical leaching from plastic bottles, bacterial growth, and degradation of taste and quality. What I didn't know was that it could lead to something like this. The individual who uploaded this on one of our paranormal platforms insists that the clip isn't digitally manipulated and that he found an old bottle with these organisms in it. He had a number of individuals in the original post mention that those colorful floating things are hydroids. Now, when I heard the term, I didn't know what they were and felt too proud to ask Julius, so after a little research, I discovered hydroids are small colonial marine organisms belonging to the class Hydrosa within the phylum Cnidaria. They often form intricate branching colonies that can resemble plants. They capture food using specialized cells called ctenidites, which contain stinging structures for paralyzing prey. Some well-known hydroids include the Portuguese man-o-war and various species that contribute to coral reef ecosystems. As much as I would want to believe that what we are seeing is real, the facts don't agree with it. My video editor thinks the clip was doctored, which is quite disappointing if you're like me and really want to believe this is real. Anyway, those are just our assertions. What do you think? And we're back to strange clouds. Have you ever seen clouds like these? If you have, please do let us know when and where. And if you have pictures, do send them over to classifiedcaptures@gmail.com. We would really like to see them. Until then, we'll try to decipher what these are. Naturally, everyone in our studio but Julius believes this could have extraterrestrial origin. The spheres are saucer-shaped, which could point to multiple alien ships hiding in our atmosphere. While that sounds intriguing, there are some individuals in our team who suggest that instead of seeing individual crafts, we should see one large craft. If we're to go by the second assumption, then it's a no-brainer that we're entering the alien mothership arena. While we brainstormed and tried to agree on what this might be, I couldn't help but wonder if our defense systems wouldn't be able to pick up an alien ship that big in our atmosphere. I mean, our security forces are able to pick up asteroids way smaller than what we're seeing here, which will make it strange if they couldn't pick up ships that large. Aaron has two theories. The first, aliens have stealth technology that rivals anything on our planet. Second, our governments are working with the aliens. Now, we don't have evidence for any of these, so we move back to our clouds. What do you guys think? Are they natural, or is there something strange really going on? Share your thoughts. Still on potential alien encounters, we move to Miami, Florida. A lady uploaded this online after her security camera allegedly captured it during the day. Once she posted the clip online, the community went busy with each and every person who saw it, trying to explain why it was they thought it was. Many saw arms, legs, heads, and possibly a jetpack. A section of the online community thinks we're dealing with an alien in a suit flying through the city. Perhaps its cloaking device was faulty. There are also some who think it's a person in an experimental jet suit. Julius and all others like him simply think the whole clip is fake. Aaron laughed after everyone had given his or her theory. His comment was more of a question than it was a suggestion. He said, "What if it's truly an alien and we didn't bother to cloak itself because it knew it wouldn't believe what we were seeing?" Think about it. Does anyone know what this is? Personally, I'm not exactly sure what we're looking at, but there are theories and I'm gonna share them all in a bit. The first of these theories is that this lady has recently had a bunch of micro-injections to treat a condition. Personally, I don't know much about that, so if that's your field, please confirm if this is true in the comments section. The second theory, and most popular at the moment, is that this lady has the DNA of the reptilian people hiding amongst humans. Now, this is the craziest theory that I've heard in a while, but a number of individuals believe that's the case. Instead of arguing it out, I thought it was best to know what you guys also thought after you saw the clip. So, over to you. I'll be reading the comments. How can you hear this and still be out there in the dark with your camera recording? I mean, it's nice to have these clips, but these clips aren't worth your life or getting hurt. Speaking of getting hurt, what do you think is behind those eerie sounds? Julius mentioned they might be coyotes, which I'm tempted to side with, but Aaron has his ideas and theories too. Aaron thinks it could indeed be coyotes or some other forest animals having a standoff with either a Bigfoot or Dogman. Yes, I know that sounds like a stretch, but what do you guys think? What you call an AI that becomes smarter than us humans? Well, according to this man and his research team, it's AGI, or Artificial General Intelligence, and it's coming soon.
As researchers and engineers continue to work on AI, the day will come when the digital brains that live inside our computers will become as good and even better than our own biological brains. Computers will become smarter than us.
With his extensive experience, including key contributions to neural networks in the development of AlexNet, Sutskever anticipates the emergence of artificial general intelligence systems with broad human-like cognitive abilities. He envisions AGI revolutionizing various sectors by enhancing efficiency in industry, transforming healthcare with precise diagnostics and treatments, and accelerating scientific research. Additionally, AGI could offer innovative solutions to global challenges like climate change and pandemics, marking a significant leap in AI's role in solving complex problems and expanding human potential. While this sounds mighty interesting, I can't help but be worried about what could happen if the AI of the future malfunctions. We could be looking at the future of the Terminator traveling back in time to change.
It is completely obvious that such an AGI will have a dramatic impact on every area of life, of human activity and society.
Remember the clip we shared about the strange trumpet sounds from the sky? No? Well, if you don't, pay attention to this next one.
Did you hear that?
Similar, right? It does sound more like the trombone than the trumpet, at least that's what my imagination says. The big question everyone's asking is why and how? There's no way this should be possible. Sure, then can be bizarre sounds from the sky, but one that sounds so much like a trombone or trumpet as this just doesn't seem to exist in nature. Aaron came up with two theories to explain everything. The first one is the footage is fake. The second, however, which is the least pleasant of the two, is that the rapture already happened and we missed it. What say you?
Did you hear that?
Still on strange things, what do you think is responsible for this? Yes, that's a human baby with fur and facial features that almost make it look like a lion's cub. Naturally, once this was posted, the lip went viral and many had a lot to say. Some suggested that the child is the result of the mother having an affair with a dogman or a dog. I know, it sounds strange and nasty, but as I said earlier, you can never rule anything out when it comes to these paranormal events. There were some who also thought it had to do with genetic mutation or anomaly. I'm no expert, but this looks like something worth looking into. Julius thinks the whole thing is fake, just in case I didn't mention it earlier. Have you ever wondered why movies and cartoons are recently pushing the concept of the multiverse down our throats?
Did I just wake up in a freaking Marvel movie? Like, proof that the multiverse exists as told by scientists? This is getting way out of hand. Completely out of hand. Multiverse?
Maybe they're doing so because it's popular and people like it, but how do you explain the subject coming up in scientific and research papers? You can't, can you? Well, we've gotten to a point where scientists are trying to explain the concept using the scientific knowledge we have now, and the man in the clip isn't having any of it. He's upset because the possibility of aliens being real is one on the high side and scientists keep rubbishing it, yet they're there trying to prove and let us know that the multiverse exists. Sounds a bit fishy, doesn't it? One of the ways they're explaining the concept of the multiverse is through quantum physics. For those like me, quantum physics explores the behavior of particles at the smallest scales like atoms and subatomic particles. One of the key principles in the concept of superposition, which suggests that particles can exist in multiple states or locations simultaneously until they're observed or measured. When you observe or measure a quantum system, it collapses into one of those possible states. The concept of the multiverse is related to the concept of quantum superposition and the many worlds interpretation. In the many worlds interpretation, every possible outcome of a quantum measurement actually occurs, but in separate non-interacting branches of the universe. This leads to the idea that there could be many parallel realities or worlds, each representing a different outcome of the quantum events. Confusing, I know. I won't go into it further, but the baseline is this. If we are to explore our scientific concepts, it would support the existence of the multiverse. If that's the case, then aliens and extraterrestrials shouldn't be so surprising now, should it?
We can't even admit to aliens and we know they're fucking visiting. Like, how is there multiverses but no aliens?
Stepping away from all the scientific stuff, we go to Jasper, where we have a clip allegedly featuring our favorite big guy. Take a look. Looking at the clip, though, you would realize that there's a large and tall being looking down on some mountain goats. Seen it? Yeah, that's what caught the attention of the individual recording the clip that made him start recording in the first place. He took a break from driving, expecting to enjoy the scenery, when he realized he was not the only one. Although he couldn't clearly see the creature or being, he believes it's our favorite big guy. He wanted to get closer to get a better view and a clearer video, but there was no roads that could lead him to the exact spot where the creature stood. The clip is a bit on the blurry side, I know, but it was recorded as far back as 2017 on an iPad, so please bear with it. To explain what's going on to us, the individual is playing it on the iPad, which originally has the clip and recorded again from a phone, hence the low quality. Anyway, back to the subject at hand. Do you think that's really Bigfoot, or is this a case of mistaken identity? Do share what you think. These days, many shops have gone cashless, requiring customers to pay primarily with their credit cards. However, this shift has also brought about new ways for scammers to exploit the system.
Yeah, be careful, y'all. Look. You see that shit? You see where we at? We on Golden State, yo. Golden State and Shaw. They out here with the shits, look.
A man at a convenience store noticed something unusual. The first layer on the credit card scanner seemed loose. Upon closer inspection, he discovered that it could be removed, revealing another layer beneath it, and what he discovered was quite alarming. The top layer was a skimmer device designed to capture credit card information from unsuspecting customers. These devices are becoming increasingly sophisticated, blending seamlessly with legitimate card readers to steal data without detection. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people have fallen victim to this scam. Do you guys have a way to protect yourselves from these things? If you do, can you share it for the rest of us to learn?
We on Golden State, yo. Golden State and Shaw. They out here with the shits, look.
Did you know there's a fascinating story about why tech companies use blue light on our gadgets? It's alleged that it's all about controlling us and getting us to consume more. A man by the name of Jack Kruse explains it further.
The reason that all your computer screens are blue lit, the reason none of them are red lit, the reason none of them pay attention to circadian biology is because that original technology was developed in a government program that Bobby Kennedy knows about, and I happen to know about because I went to medical school at LSU. For those of you who've never heard about Operation Paperclip, you think it's all conspiracy theory.
According to him, it all started with a mafia in Las Vegas. They discovered that blue light could influence people's behavior, making them more likely to stay awake, gamble longer, and spend more money. Seeing the potential for control, the US government, specifically the CIA, got involved. They began researching and implementing this technology for various purposes, possibly even for mind control and manipulation. Eventually, tech companies picked up on this idea. By integrating blue light into their screens, they ensured that we spend more time on our devices, consuming content and generating revenue. From smartphones to laptops, the pervasive use of blue light is designed to keep us engaged, often at the expense of our sleep and well-being. It's quite unsettling to think about. I wonder the extent to which our behavior is being manipulated without our knowledge.
And that's the reason why all your computer screens have the frequencies they have. So why is this all important? Well, the person that set this meeting up between me and Bobby is the patent attorney that made sure that Google and Meta have those things so they can control the things that we all do.
The sea remains a mystery to humans, despite the many centuries we've spent exploring our planet. Take a look at this footage captured by a deep-sea camera. A luminescent creature can be seen swimming through the waters. It resembles a jellyfish but is unlike any known species. Instead of the usual tentacles, it has 4 arm-like appendages that move about the top part of its body, seemingly aiding in its movement. Scientists are baffled by this discovery. It's not exactly a jellyfish, and its unique features have yet to be classified. This enigmatic creature is just one example of the countless mysteries that the ocean holds. The vastness of the sea continues to intrigue and challenge scientists. Each discovery like this luminescent organism reminds us of how much we have yet to learn about the deep ocean secrets. As technology advances, we can only hope to uncover more of these wonders hidden beneath the waves. This footage was taken by some guys who were out in the woods feeding a bear.
No. Huh?
The person taking the video was seated in the car, while the other was outside with a packet of something, maybe snacks or food, feeding the bear. Now, we don't know the exact context of the footage or whether the bear is tamed or not, but take a look at what happens next. As the bear gets closer to the man feeding it, something unexpected occurs. Out of nowhere, the bear snaps and charges at the man with a loud growl. In a split second, the man yells out, startling the bear and causing it to retreat into the woods. It was a close call. Let this serve as a reminder that even if a bear seems calm and approachable, it's never wise to approach it as though it was a pet. Sudden outbursts are not just unpredictable, but deadly as well. What you're looking at here is a relic from the 1700s, retrieved from the treasures of Louis XIV. This intriguing artifact appears to be a door, but it's not just any door, it's a puzzle in itself. To even begin to open it, one must first determine which of the numerous knobs conceals the keyhole. The door is equipped with multiple hidden keyholes, each of which must be discovered and unlocked with a key before the door finally opens to reveal a safe inside. The level of complexity and sophistication in this ancient security mechanism is truly remarkable. It suggests that whatever was kept behind this door was of immense value and importance. Such efficient ancient technology ensured that unauthorized access was nearly impossible. The guards would get there before even you got to the first keyhole. Antarctica has always been a place of mystery. In this footage, someone used a map to zoom in on a specific location in Antarctica, and this is what they found. At the edge of the ice walls, there was an almost spherical, shiny object. The person believes that this could be a UFO, given the long-standing theories that Antarctica might be a base for extraterrestrial activity. The object's distinct shape and reflective surface stand out against the stark, icy landscape. Could it be a remnant of an advanced civilization, a secret government project, or indeed an extraterrestrial craft? Share your thoughts. A man was walking through the park when he noticed something unusual in the sky. There was a bird seemingly stuck in mid-air. This phenomenon has been seen and captured on video from various places around the world. Scientists explain that some birds can hover in mid-air, but in most of these videos, the bird's wings are not moving at all. They appear completely frozen. This has led many to believe that perhaps there's an actual glitch in the matrix. The sight of a bird suspended motionless in the sky is both fascinating and eerie. It challenges our understanding of physics and animal behavior, leaving us to question whether there's a more mysterious explanation at play.
Hay un niño golpeando la puerta.
A man was woken up in the middle of the night by a strange tapping on his front door. Curious and unsettled, he decided to check it out while filming everything on his phone. As he approached the door, he noticed a strange, short figure tapping on the glass. Getting closer, he managed to get a clearer look through the glass, and it appeared to have a face like a plate. As soon as the man opened the door, the creature vanished into thin air. The man was understandably freaked out by this encounter. Some believe that an entity might be haunting the house. However, skeptics argue that this could all be a hoax. Regardless of whether you believe in the paranormal or think it's all just a trick, the footage is certainly unsettling and leaves much to the imagination. What do you think? A haunted house or a clever prank? A man had just put his daughter to bed, and in her room he had set up a security camera to keep an eye on her. Later that night, after he had gone to bed, he heard strange noises coming from her room. Concerned, he checked the monitor to see if she was okay, and what he saw left him utterly terrified. There on the screen, his daughter was lying in bed completely still, her eyes wide open and glowing in the darkness. What made it even more unsettling was the fact that she was staring directly into the camera. The camera had been carefully placed in a hidden spot, so there was no way she could have known where it was, yet her unblinking gaze was fixed right on it. The sight was so eerie, so unnatural, that the man was paralyzed with fear. Imagine looking at your child, expecting to see them peacefully asleep, only to witness something as chilling as this. I mean, just look at this. What could possibly explain such a terrifying scene? This footage, known as the Bob Lazar tape, was taken back in 1991.
I would randomly be taken into a small room which contained a table, a chair, and 120 or so briefings in blue folders. These briefings contained a wide spectrum of information, mostly relating to aliens and alien technology. This technology that you've learned about thus far was brought here by some alien beings from the Zeta Reticuli 1 and 2 star system.
In it, Bob Lazar, a man who had been at the center of UFO conspiracy theories for decades, explains how a UFO supposedly works. According to Lazar, he was involved in a top-secret government project at a site called S4 near Area 51, where he worked on reverse engineering alien technology. In the tape, Lazar goes into detail about the propulsion system of the UFOs, describing something called Element 115 as the key to their advanced capabilities. He claims that this element, which doesn't exist naturally on Earth, allows the craft to manipulate gravity, enabling it to travel vast distances in space by bending space-time itself. The footage has become a cornerstone of UFO lore, with some people believing it offers credible evidence of extraterrestrial technology, while others dismiss it as an elaborate hoax. What are your thoughts?
The power source is a reactor which uses this element 115 as its fuel. Inside the reactor, element 115 is bombarded with a proton, which plugs into the nucleus of the 115 atom and becomes element 116, which immediately decays and releases or radiates small amounts of antimatter.
Look at this and tell me how this is even possible. A resident at an apartment complex came home to find tiny black objects lodged into the walls of a building. At first glance, you might think they're birds or insects stuck to the surface, but as the camera zooms in, it reveals something far stranger. These aren't living creatures at all, they're spikes that are usually fixed on metal fences to deter intruders. What's even more bizarre is that when you look at the fence around the building, you notice that many of these spikes are missing and instead they're embedded into the concrete walls of the structure. The spikes seem to be driven deep into the solid wall as if they've somehow been launched or pushed with incredible force. How could something like this happen? It's hard to believe that someone would take the time to meticulously place each spike into the wall. It would require not only precision, but also a lot of effort, especially considering how firmly they appear to be lodged. Could this be some sort of strange phenomena like an unexplained magnetic force, or perhaps an unknown type of energy that caused the spikes to dislodge from the fence and embed themselves into the building? Or could it be the result of a powerful windstorm or other natural force that somehow carried the spikes from the fence to the walls? I'll let you decide on that. If you have arachnophobia, consider this your warning to move 2 minutes ahead. A homeowner came home one day and was greeted by an unexpected and rather unsettling sight. There in the corner where the wall meets the ceiling was a giant spider just casually hanging out as if it owned the place. Its legs are long and spindly, stretching out across the wall, making it look even larger than it is. The spider's body was bulky, giving off an eerie vibe as if it was watching everything from its high vantage point. For anyone with a fear of spiders, this would be a nightmare come true. Even for those who aren't particularly afraid, the sheer size of this creature is enough to make anyone uneasy. The homeowner probably had to gather some courage to figure out what to do next, whether to try and remove the spider, or maybe just leave it be and hope it doesn't move too much.
Going to the Tic Tacs.
Yeah.
Who was controlling those Tic Tacs?
The same people who contacted me in 1953. They're in control.
Are they people from the future?
Well, yes.
Are they?
It said it was a conscious computer.
Are they from a conscious computer?
Well, yeah. So at least, like Terminator. So one guy, there's a whole side story where it said it was Ingo Swann said it was 100 years in the future, and that was back. about 40 years ago.
In this intriguing interview with physicist Jack Sarfati, he delves into some truly mind-bending concepts. Sarfati claims that he's working on time travel technology and suggests that UFOs might be time machines. According to his theory, these mysterious crafts aren't just visitors from other worlds, but rather they're vehicles piloted by humans from the future. This idea implies that what we often refer to as aliens might not be extraterrestrial beings at all, but rather future versions of ourselves evolved and technologically advanced. Sarfati's theory raises some fascinating questions about the nature of time, reality, and our understanding of the universe. If UFOs are indeed machines from the future, it could mean that these beings, who we've long speculated to be from distant planets, are our descendants traveling back to observe or interact with their past. What do you feel about this information?
Are they?
It said it was a conscious computer.
Are they a conscious computer?
Well, yeah, so at least, like Terminator. So one guy, there's a whole side story where it said it was, Ingo Swann said it was 100 years in the future, and that was back about 40 years ago.
This footage was taken by a man driving past a house after he noticed something quite bizarre. The lawnmower was moving on its own. There was no one around operating it. So he zoomed in, and this is what he captured. A dog was seated on the mower, staring it like a pro. This is definitely not a common trick you teach your dog, so what's going on here? Could this be evidence of something more unusual, like a skinwalker? For those new here, skinwalkers, according to some Native American legends, are shapeshifters who can take the form of animals. But is that really what we're seeing here, or is there a more mundane explanation, like some kind of automated mower system that the dog just happened to hop on? I guess we may never know. Here we have another instance of strange dog behavior that has the internet buzzing. A dog owner noticed that his dog had been acting oddly for a while, so he decided to investigate. With his camera in one hand and a crucifix in the other, he approached the dog. As soon as the crucifix was shown to the dog, it began to growl ferociously, baring its teeth in a way the owner had never seen before. This unsettling reaction led the owner to believe that something was seriously wrong. He now suspects that his dog might be possessed or even a shape-shifting demon in disguise. The incident sparked a lot of debate online. Some think the dog's reaction could be explained by fear or discomfort around the crucifix, while others believe it's a sign of something much more sinister. Could this be an example of paranormal activity manifesting in a household pet, or is it just a dog reacting to a strange object in its environment? This is security footage from the Zach Bagans Haunted Museum, known for its collection of haunted artifacts and eerie history. In this clip, the camera captures a quiet night at the museum, but strange and unsettling noises echo through the empty halls. The sounds are peculiar, almost like whispers, ghostly murmurs, and screeching screams, and they resonate throughout the space. Despite the clear audio, there's no visible movement on the footage, nothing to indicate a physical cause for the noises. The museum was closed to the public during this recording, adding to the sense of isolation and mystery. The stillness of the environment contrasts sharply with the disquieting sounds, making them all the more unnerving. Was this a case of paranormal activity, or is there a more mundane explanation for the ghostly echoes?
What's your name?
Kaiko, ikuka, ikika, ikoko, ikikiko, ka. Kabikiko, ikike. Kukua, kaishi, kaikaikua.
The native people are called the San people of South Africa. They are said to be the oldest population of people on Earth. The San have lived in the region for thousands of years, with their history stretching back over 20,000 years. Traditionally, the San people are known for their hunter-gatherer lifestyle. They have an incredible knowledge of the land and its resources, relying on their skills to track game and identify edible plants. Their way of life is deeply connected to nature and has been passed down through generations. The San are also famous for their rock art. Their paintings and engravings found in various caves and rock shelters across southern Africa are some of the oldest in the world. These artworks offer a window into their spiritual beliefs, daily activities, and the animals they encountered. Despite their rich cultural heritage, the San people faced numerous challenges. Land rights issues, modernization pressures, and cultural erosion are ongoing concerns. However, efforts continue to support their rights and preserve their unique traditions and way of life. This is a video that was taken in a hospital. The doctors and nurses were busy trying to revive a patient when something extraordinary happened. As you watch the footage, you'll see the patient lying on the bed surrounded by medical staff working diligently. However, what stands out is what appears to happen right before our eyes. A ghostly figure emerges from the patient and ascends upwards. This ethereal figure seems to float above the bed before disappearing. The most eerie part is that none of the medical staff around the patient seem to notice this apparition. They continue their efforts as if nothing unusual is happening. It's only when the footage is reviewed later that everyone is taken aback by the sight. The figure's presence adds a haunting layer to what was already a tense and emotional moment. What could this apparition mean? Is it the soul of the patient leaving their body, or is there no other explanation for this ghostly appearance? This person is holding a lifelike silicone mask, but take a closer look. He's also wearing one himself. Silicone face masks have evolved to become increasingly realistic, and they're starting to raise some serious concerns. Imagine someone walking around with your face on, seamlessly blending in as if they were you. These masks have become more than just a novelty or costume accessory. They now pose a real threat to privacy and security. While the mask he's holding looks quite shiny and perhaps not as lifelike as others, it's still impressive in its realism. The level of detail and craftsmanship that goes into these masks can make them almost indistinguishable from real skin. What's even more unsettling is that these masks are widely available for purchase. With such realistic masks on the market, the potential for misuse is significant. It's not just about having fun or playing a prank anymore, it's about the unsettling possibility that someone could use these masks for more nefarious purposes. Am I simply overreacting, or is there truly a cause for concern? A drone was flying over a forest when it spotted something moving below. It moved with huge strides, covering more ground than a regular human could. As the drone zeroes in for a closer look, its pilot is convinced that it has to be none other than the legendary Bigfoot. It was covered in brown fur and ticked everything on the Bigfoot checklist. If we know anything about Bigfoots, we know that they're elusive, and this creature managed to slip away, hidden by the forest it calls home. What do you think, though? Is this the real thing, or are we only seeing what we want to see? In the world of the unexplained and eerie, there are moments frozen in time that give us pause for thought. This peculiar image is one of them, a snapshot captured during the depths of the night. In this enigmatic scene, a figure emerges from the darkness surrounding by an aura that defies earthly explanation. The most striking feature, or perhaps the lack thereof, is the absence of a head. It walks forward, defying the laws of living, leaving us to question its nature and origin. This spectral form appears almost ethereal, its limbs outstretched in an unsettling pose. It blurs the line between what's real and what's not, leaving us with a sense of ambiguity. What could this headless figure be? Can you tell? We'd really love to know. Now, this is one peculiar find. A subscriber sent us this rather unusual footage from a live news broadcast. As the newscasters do their thing, something quite strange unfolds right behind the man on the right. If you focus your attention just over his shoulder, you'll spot a dark figure zipping across the screen. And here's where it gets even weirder. This figure seems almost humanoid in shape. It's as if we've stumbled upon a flying person. Picture Superman mid-flight, arms raised above his head in that iconic pose. That's precisely what this figure appears to be doing. The real puzzle here is the incredible speed at which this figure moves. It's so swift that it's no wonder the news team remains completely unaware of what's happening right behind them. So the question on everyone's mind, did we just capture a live recording of a superhuman in action? Our subscriber seems to think so. Some members of my team thought so too, but if you know anything about these backdrops, you know they're CGI and animated. Now my question is, why would they do that? Is there something that they're trying to tell us, or is the backdrop of this particular studio real-time footage? You guys tell us. Do you remember that mountain shaped like a sleeping woman from the movie Moana? Well, it's a real mountain in Alaska called Mount Susitna. Nature is very mysterious as it is fun and beautiful. In this video, we can see footage taken over a mountain that's shaped like a woman, but this is not the real deal. It's just a digital creation of the original. Isn't it fascinating how far technology has come? Just look at how real our movies look with CGI. It's still terrifying to think about what other things we may have come across that are not real, but rather digitally made. There are times when situations leave us baffled with lots of questions, and one such situation is this. A Swedish YouTuber called Ellen, whose niche was true crime, was once filming in the woods in the middle of the night when she captured something rather odd on her camera. It was a creature with a small head and a pair of glowing eyes. The creature poked its head from behind a large tree and then vanished. Ellen was naturally spooked by what she saw, and I don't blame her. I mean, the creature didn't look human, nor did it look like an animal, except for its glowing eyes. Some of her followers suggested it might be a nocturnal animal, but the last time I checked, animals don't have hair that long unless they were a lion or a horse with a mane. Clearly, this thing looked nothing like either one of them. So what could it have been? In this Trailcam image from eastern Kentucky, we're confronted with a rather pitiful sight. In the capture, we see a creature with a head reminiscent of a canid resembling a coyote. However, a closer examination reveals a troubling affliction. The creature appears to be suffering from a severe case of mange, a skin disease caused by microscopic mites. Mange is a distressing condition in which these minuscule parasites burrow into the host's skin, leading to the loss of fur and causing immense discomfort and suffering. Seeing a creature in such a state is truly heartbreaking, and it's impossible not to feel sympathy for this unfortunate animal. Unless, of course, you're its prey and you're happy that it won't be alive much longer. That's dark, I know, but the wild is no picnic. It's a hard place. Trailcams indeed capture some strange and unexpected moments in the woods, and this image sent in by another subscriber is no exception. In this intriguing Trailcam shot, we find ourselves amid a dark and mysterious woodland scene. 3 deer, seemingly going about their business, are accompanied by a figure that defies easy explanation. It's neither fully human nor entirely deer. This enigmatic being has the form of a person, but its head is a deer skeleton glowing eerily, just like its deer companions. The rest of its body is shrouded in darkness, and when we gaze down towards its feet, they seem to vanish into thin air. So, what in the world is happening here? Is this some sort of deer-human hybrid, a guardian spirit, or something else entirely? We can't say. The subscriber is, however, asking if we should leave the camera there and revisit it later. What do you guys suggest? How can we make sure he gets the best footage from the location without putting himself in danger? Please share your thoughts in the comments section. We'll be reading. If you also have footage and clips you'd want to show us on this channel, don't hesitate to send them in. If you're unsure of what you've captured, don't worry, I'm sure the thousands of subscribers who watch the videos could help you make sense of it. Send it to classifiedcaptures@gmail.com. Moving on. In the streets of Oregon, a man captured a peculiar sight. The tarred road was steaming hot, and the tar itself seemed to be melting.
Yeah, they say this is a volcano 100 years ago, but...
The initial interpretation was that it might be a volcano, perhaps reawakening after centuries of dormancy. In situations like this, the initial interpretation often leans towards more sensational and extraordinary explanations. However, subsequent information debunked the volcanic theory. It turns out that the phenomenon was more grounded in the infrastructure beneath the surface. The steaming and melting were attributed to a hot water pipe leak. Funny, right? In 2023, a group of people had a serene visit to Lake Houma in Australia, looking forward to enjoying the tranquility of the waterside. However, their peaceful time was unexpectedly interrupted by a mysterious and unsettling sound that seemed to emanate from beyond the lake.
We're up at Bonnie Doon.
The nature of the sound raised eyebrows among the visitors, as it was not akin to typical animal noises or the familiar hum of machinery. The noise, characterized by its unusual and eerie quality, sparked curiosity and a sense of intrigue among those present. When confronted with such unexplained sounds in natural settings, various factors come into play. It could be attributed to wildlife, atmospheric conditions, wind patterns, or even geological activities in the vicinity. On the other hand, human-made sources such as distant machinery or industrial processes could also contribute to such auditory phenomena. However, since none of these was confirmed, we're left to wonder what this could be.
You can hear that, right?
Yeah, what is it?
I've got no idea.
It is strange.
This footage was captured in a Canadian forest by a hiker. It all looked peaceful and serene at first. This serenity is, however, short-lived when something disturbing appears from nowhere. It's a strange, pale, humanoid figure emerging from the underbrush. This creature's movements are eerily reminiscent of a zombie, raising questions about its origin and nature. Could this be a real-life version of The Walking Dead, or is there another explanation for this unsettling encounter? Share your thoughts with us. Picture this unsettling scenario. You're at home, cozy and comfortable, when out of nowhere a seemingly deranged fox shows up right at your doorstep. At first, you think it's a simple matter of chasing it away, so you make an attempt to do just that, attempting to shut the door to safety. But here's where it gets bizarre. The fox doesn't back down. Now stop imagining and watch this. It's exactly what happened to this homeowner. This furry intruder kept trying to gnaw its way through the door but couldn't succeed. It then proceeds to look through the gap in the door, its eyes filled with an unsettling intensity. It's like something out of a horror story, with this fox seemingly possessed by some otherworldly force. You can't help but wonder, what on earth is wrong with this creature? Is it rabid, or is there something more sinister at play? I think it's rabid, but some members of our team think it's possessed. What about you? What do you think? In the extremely cold and snowy land of Antarctica, where temperatures are bone-chilling and snowstorms are constant, life becomes surreal and full of challenges. In this footage, you can see a woman struggling to shut her door after it was forced open by the storm. Just look at how she is struggling. This snippet offers a glimpse into the harsh and demanding conditions that inhabitants and researchers in Antarctica contend with regularly. Antarctica's reputation as the coldest place on Earth is well deserved, with temperatures plummeting to extremes that test the limits of human endurance. The continent is not only known for its freezing temperatures, but also its relentless and unpredictable weather patterns. Snowstorms, often accompanied by strong winds, can transform the landscape into a hostile and unforgiving terrain. Surviving in Antarctica demands special skills and resilience to the harsh climate and navigate through the unpredictable elements. Hold on to your hats, folks. In this interview, we catch wind of an astonishing claim. Scientists may have the keys to extending our lifespans, all by tinkering with our very own genome.
Unnecessary. We'll just mess with the genome and you live forever. Mess with the genome? Yeah, just change the genes in a way so that they don't age. We're much closer to that than separating your brain out, putting it with mice already, and putting it in a jar. They're doing that with mice. There are ways we can prolong the life of other animals, but they don't live forever. They just live longer than they otherwise would have. So I think we're much closer to that manipulation of the genome than removing the brain from your skull and sticking it in a jar.
Yes, you heard that right. No need to transfer our consciousness into futuristic robots. The fountain of youth might be in the hands of genome-tweaking scientists. But pause for a moment. Let that sink in. And if this is indeed true, it makes you wonder about all those potential cures sitting somewhere in someone's cabinet, doesn't it? Could the secrets of conquering disease like cancer be tucked away in the intricacies of our genetic makeup?
Yeah, just change the genes in a way so that they don't age.
We visit the Pacific Northwest, known for its tales of Bigfoot sightings. There we have this interesting image which captures the elusive creature taking a stroll, albeit briefly in the limelight. The person who took the photo recalls a momentary encounter. They locked eyes with the creature for a split second, and just as quickly it disappeared into the thick forest like a fleeting specter. This image is a reminder that mysteries still linger in the natural world. In these ancient forests, secrets remain hidden. Bigfoot, a symbol of the unknown, continues to intrigue us. Whether these encounters are genuine or the stuff of imagination, you can't deny that they keep us fascinated with the mysteries of the wilderness. With the amount of footage we receive from you guys, however, I bet the majority of these are very real. All some of you need is a good camera equipment, and we'll soon have verifiable proof of their existence. Still on all things juvenile yet mysterious, this next Trailcam photo was sent in by a subscriber who was confused and perplexed by what it captured. Here we have a furry creature in the distance standing in a weird position. The picture is very blurry, so it's hard to tell what this could be. I don't know if the creature has its arm up or tail up. If it's the latter, then this could be a fisher, a creature from the weasel family. But if not, then this could likely be some other type of cryptid. We can't seem to be able to say with certainty that it's any creature. Can you? Can Bigfoots talk? Well, there are some who believe they can, and others who believe they can only make unintelligible sounds.
What is that? Hear that?
Irrespective of which you subscribe to, someone sent this footage in saying the sounds were made by a Bigfoot. What do you think? The footage was taken in the woods. The individual who sent them in started to record when he heard the strange sounds you're hearing coming from the woods. The sounds sound like a mixture of howls, barks, screams, and grunts. There are records of these same types of vocalizations coming from other Bigfoot hotspots, which has led many to conclude that Bigfoots are the ones who make these vocalizations. What do you think? Is the theory true, or is this just a bunch of creatures excited for the mating season?
What is that?
Have you ever heard of the Glimmermen? They're said to be these transparent-looking creatures that blend into their surroundings. They're typically found in woods, but thanks to their glimmering qualities, they can hardly be spotted. Did you see that? Some sort of invisible entity moving right there, and just as quickly as it came, it was gone. This footage was captured back in 2014 by a group of Bigfoot researchers. They'd set out to explore the woodland of Washington when one of them noticed something rather odd. There on the ground, there was an invisible creature that appeared and disappeared as quickly as it had appeared. Fortunately for the team, and rather unfortunately for the Glimmer Man, their camera was rolling and it had already been captured. We are unsure of how the other Glimmer Men will respond to him exposing their kind, but we're sort of grateful. A part of me is already sold on the footage, but I have to ask, do you guys think we're dealing with the real thing, or are these campers trying to get their 5 minutes of fame? We've known nature to often conceal its mysteries, and in the depths of the forest, but this first clip of the day is evidence that Mama Nature isn't always successful. Have a look. This was captured by an enthusiast who had strategically placed 2 trail cams in different locations, hoping to capture the secrets of the woods. When he finally retrieved his devices, their contents left him astounded. The first trail cam revealed a sight that has intrigued and bewildered him since its discovery. He'd heard of rumors over the years of a Bigfoot roaming the area. Being the scientific and logically minded type, he ignored them completely and saw them to be nothing but old wives' tales. Yet here he is with an image from his trail cam which appears to be a capture of the supposed Bigfoot in mid-step, surrounded by the serene beauty of the forest. It's definitely not an ape or any other primate from the woods. They don't even have apes in this neighborhood. He concluded it had to be the real deal, a Bigfoot. And we agree with his assertion, don't you? Still on sick-looking animals, this next image also shows an almost similar creature, but this time I think there might be more to it than simply being a sick coyote. In this intriguing image, we're presented with a creature that bears some resemblance to the infamous chupacabra, an enigmatic entity often associated with the mysterious killings of livestock. The creature in question possesses long limbs and a pale complexion, which deviates from the typical appearance of a healthy coyote. While we can't definitely conclude that this is a chupacabra, it's worth noting that chupacabra sightings have been reported in that particular region, and the creature on screen fits the description. At least, that's what the individual who sent it in thinks. What about you? I have investigated Bigfoots for years and didn't know they had a sense of humor. That was at least until I saw this footage. This footage was recorded by a hiker who was walking through the woods when she felt uneasy. You know, the kind you have when there are eyes on you. For evidence sake, she took out her phone and started filming, but she didn't see anything around her. A few seconds later, something or someone crept out from behind a tree to look at her and then rushed back again. Then it popped right behind another tree and looked at her, and then hid again. This stalker had features that resembled a Bigfoot. Whether it was playing peekaboo with her, we can't tell, but from the lady's reaction, you can tell she was freaked out by it. I mean, well, I would be too, but what do you guys think of the whole thing? Should everything unusual we see have a paranormal explanation? I mean, I want it to, but should it? Take, for instance, this woman who was sitting in the living room with her child on the sofa. I guess the weather was hot because she had a standing fan on blast. Not long after, the fan begins to move back and forth. The woman gets scared and starts to run out of there with her baby. But why did she run? For me, what I just saw was a faulty fan. Perhaps the mechanism for navigating the fan's head back and forth is spoiled, but it seems this woman thought there was some kind of ghost haunting her or something. Or perhaps there's more to the occurrence than the footage tells us. What do you think? Next, we have security cam footage that might have just captured a ghostly experience in Indonesia. Take a look. In the footage, we see a motor rider moving in the night when a strange girl suddenly appeared. Paying attention to the footage, we can see that the rider sees her too and tries to stop. But that's just the thing. Right before he's able to stop, the girl disappears. Being the good human he was, he got off the bike because he was concerned, thinking he'd probably hit her, but he found no one there. He's confused, but from our view, we saw the girl appear and disappear in a thin air. As he looks around for her, this girl suddenly reappeared again, causing the poor man to run off for fear of his precious life. This leaves us with a question. Who is that girl? Why did she appear and disappear? Why do it to this man? So many questions. Here we have a rather unsettling image featuring a mysterious hand that's not of human origin. Take a look at it. The hairiness, the sharp claws, and the overall animalistic appearance, it gives off an eerie vibe that could send shivers down your spine. Now let's entertain a few possibilities here. It could be the hand of a creature like Bigfoot. I mean, there's no way we're thinking this is your everyday primate or an ape. It could also be that we're dealing with a werewolf or some sort of cryptid. Of course, we should also consider the less supernatural explanations. Our paranormal imaginations could simply be running wild at this moment. Could it also be the hand of a person wearing some sort of costume or glove? I mean, Halloween is coming after all. It's hard to say, but I would want to wager that this is real. A subscriber of this channel sent it in, and I doubt anyone would send us fakes. There's no denying that this strange hand is quite unsettling. It's certainly gotta be real. What say you? You know in cartoons how snowflakes look, beautiful patterns falling from the sky? A 60-year-old man recently had a delightful surprise during a snowfall. Accustomed to the usual snow dust, he found himself witnessing the intricate beauty of snowflakes for the first time, delicately falling from the sky.
Not that I'm a real snow aficionado, but I've never seen that.
Snowflakes are famous for their unique and captivating shapes, often looking like beautiful hexagonal crystals. Each flake has its special design, creating a collective display that's a breathtaking spectacle. Even though we've seen snowflakes in pictures, witnessing their real beauty in person can be a truly magical moment. At an unknown location, this footage was taken. Tiny lights are moving from the earth toward the heavens. I have never seen anything like it. It's a mesmerizing scene. For us humans, our minds are always ready to make sense of things they don't understand, which has led to many theories about this mysterious show. Some suggest that these bright trails mean that souls are leaving Earth, going through a meaningful and spiritual change. Others, influenced by Christian beliefs, consider the idea of the rapture, a moment when good souls rise to heaven. On the other hand, some people hold a different idea, suggesting that these lights could be spaceships leaving Earth, maybe because something bad is about to happen. And the list goes on and on. All these theories about what this could be are very disturbing, but we can't tell which is closer to the truth or not. What do you guys think? If you have other suggestions, let us know in the comments section below. This footage, shared by YouTube user Sean Baker, presents a rather perplexing situation that might make you scratch your head. What you're looking at here is a massive reddish-white mass that was once a small innocent mushroom growing in Sean's backyard. Initially, he didn't pay much attention to it, thinking it was just an ordinary mushroom. But surprise, surprise, one day Sean discovered that this one small mushroom had transformed into a gigantic rock-like structure firmly embedded in his backyard. He tried everything he could to remove it, from digging to using a club, but this mysterious object wouldn't budge. The big question here is, what could have caused this transformation? Could it be some sort of abnormality mutating the mushroom into this monstrous form? Either way, let's hope it doesn't release spores that end up turning him into a zombie. Before you laugh, look up the zombie ant fungus. Trust me when I say you won't be laughing after you've researched about it. The owner of this image believes that he might have captured a ghost of some sort. In the image, which was taken at an abandoned farm, you can see a hazy figure clad in white with its back turned to the camera. This can be as a result of the being moving, but take note of a few details. On the ground, in the snow, there appears to be car tire marks of a vehicle which the uploader states were left hours prior to the photo being taken. Wondering why I'm mentioning that detail? Well, the ground is clearly soft enough for a vehicle which passed by hours ago to be leaving tracks, but tell me why this man or being, or whatever it is, isn't leaving any footprints in the snow. Several possibilities could explain this phenomena. Some paranormal enthusiasts might interpret this as evidence of a ghostly apparition, which typically doesn't leave physical footprints. Others might suggest that this could be a result of atmospheric conditions or even photographic artifacts. Some others try to be logical and even state that perhaps he's not heavy enough, but I disagree. Ultimately, without further context or investigation, it's challenging to definitely conclude. What do you personally think, though? Pray tell us in the comments section. If you still haven't hit that like button, subscribed, or even dropped a comment, could you do it now? Thank you very much. It means a lot to us and allows us to create more content like this. Moving on to the next clip. Just before you start wondering what we're looking at here, you should know that the helicopter is carrying an object called the electromagnetic surveying system. They're used for geophysical exploration and are employed in various industries, including mineral exploration to map subsurface geological features by measuring electromagnetic responses. While these systems are primarily used for geological purposes, there have been instances where unconventional interpretations of electromagnetic anomalies have led to speculative theories, including the suggestions of extraterrestrial activity like finding UFOs. So what's this one doing out there? Looking for an alien craft? Oh my goodness, take a look at this. While on a boat ride in the ocean, this person was met by a huge shark. The killer fish swam onto the boat and circled back, swimming around the boat. Luckily, the person on the boat was very still and didn't catch the attention of the creature. But from the noise the person was making, you can tell that he was freaked out. Contrary to the initial fear of a great white shark, it turns out to be a basking shark, a relief for anyone fearing a more dangerous encounter. Basking sharks are known for their immense size, often mistaken for more aggressive species due to their appearance. But they're filter feeders, mainly eating plankton and small fish by swimming with their mouths wide open. In moments like these, the thin line between awe and fear is palpable. The ocean, with its mysteries and wonders, can evoke a mix of emotions. Have you ever had a close encounter with marine life? And if so, how did it leave you feeling? Tell us in the comments section. This is one of my most beloved Trailcam captures. Not only is the capture unique and different, but it also features one creature that intrigues me the most among all creatures of the night. As much as I would like to tell you its name, I can't, and you know why. We're at the bonus segment of today's episode. Your task is simple. Name the exact species that beautiful animal is and add a rare fact. If you're able to, your name shall be immortalized among the few names of individuals on this channel who have succeeded in doing so. Start with bonus footage so we easily identify it. The most accurate description with the rarest fact will win a feature in our next video. All the best. Imagine you're going on a midnight hunt, thinking that you've caught a good game, but once you arrive where the kill is, you're not met with the expected prey. Instead, you're faced with a bewildering and monstrous creature. In this photograph, we see a man proudly displaying the result of his hunt, and it's unlike anything you'd expect to find in the wild. This creature looks like a bizarre hybrid of a hyena and a wolf, two formidable and dangerous animals in their own right. The man wears a satisfied grin as he poses with his catch, but the sheer existence of this creature should raise more questions than the satisfaction he seems to have attained. Take a moment to appreciate the sheer size and peculiarity of this beast, but after taking it all in, there are questions we have to find answers to. What is that creature? Where did it come from? Is it a sick version of an already existing creature we know? Or is this an entirely new creature? Well, we don't have the answers, only questions. Do you? When it comes to a fight, it's not always about the size of your opponent. Sometimes it boils down to how much self-confidence you have, and our next footage proves that. This man spotted a lizard and attempted to bully it. You can see him trying to get a rope around its neck and get it out of its home or neighborhood, but the little guy was not having any of it. It gathered all its courage it could and stood on its back limbs as it aggressively charged toward the man. Not expecting it, the man is forced into a retreat, which ends with him on the ground. The footage cuts off here, but we're pretty sure that Monsieur Lizard emerged as the victor in this spontaneous confrontation. Nature has its way of teaching us that respect transcends size. Next time you see a lizard or any small animal, just mind your own business and walk by. If you have to confront it because it poses any danger to you or your family, do so with this footage in mind. Sent in by a camper who went out there to take some photos, and what he encountered left him shocked. It was a normal morning, and he was preparing to get out of his tent, when through the tent window he spotted something strange. There was a huge creature that was trying to look into his tent. The creature looked like a huge gorilla with its dark fur and curious eyes, but there was something about this creature that made it very different from a gorilla. It didn't move like they did, and from a little he could see, its mannerisms were more akin to that of a human than an ape. He concluded it was a Bigfoot and shared the footage online. Looking at it myself, I can see where he's coming from. I only wish the footage was not so blurry so we could do a thorough analysis. But what do you think? The recent surge in cryptid sightings has certainly left us questioning the ordinary in many Trailcam captures. In this particular image, the setting is a woodland area and our attention is drawn to a peculiar creature perched by a fallen tree, partially concealed by another standing tree. Upon closer inspection, it becomes evident that this creature exhibits primate-like features. Given its size, it's unlikely to be a gorilla, leaving us to consider it might be a chimp or a monkey. As much as we'd want to end things there, it appears to be moving on 2 feet and not 4. Whilst we debated this observation, we saw from the comments under the original post that there are no apes or chimps in the area. That left us with one guess. It has to be a juvenile Bigfoot. It's too small to be a Bigfoot, even though everything points to it being a Bigfoot. Being a juvenile Bigfoot is the only thing that makes sense in this scenario. Or what do you think? As much as I'd love to state that that was the only Bigfoot capture from his camera, there's apparently more. It seems the mysteries of the forest were far from over for this Trailcam owner, as the second picture from his second device raised even more questions. Taken a few hours into the day, the image shows what appears to look like the same Bigfoot spotted earlier, or perhaps another of its kind further into the depths of the woods. Here the trees have shed their leaves and the landscape has transformed. The question lingers, is this the same elusive creature the Trailcam owner tracked, or are there multiple Bigfoots inhabiting this area? These elusive creatures have been the subject of legends and sightings, and the frequency of such encounters is both remarkable and puzzling. Do you believe in the Matrix? If not, then find a logical explanation for this. A man came home to find his dog standing in the hallway as though it were frozen in time. If you have a pet, you know how they like to be all over you when you go out and come back. This dog, on the other hand, was just standing there, not moving or panting or playing or doing anything. As the owner gets closer to the dog, it becomes increasingly evident that the dog is frozen in time. Now, before you say that it's a realistic dog toy, just wait and see what happens next. The man just cautiously walks towards his dog, and as soon as he touches it and rubs its neck, the dog comes back to life. It's one of two things. The owner has taught his dog a very clever trick, or the dog was frozen in time till the owner's touch reset it. What do you think? If you've made it this far, could you please hit the like button, subscribe, and even drop a comment if you haven't already? It goes a long way to make it possible to create more videos for you. Thank you for doing so. Moving back to the day's episode, football is a very physical game, so when a player falls, it's usually hard for them to get back on their feet due to the impact. If that's true, tell me why this player pulled a Michael Jackson on us. While he was running to get the ball, he fell, sliding across the grass. But then, within a few seconds, he levitated off the ground, almost as though some unknown force lifted him. The funny thing is, he walked away like nothing happened. You can see the other players looking at him and probably all shocked by what they just witnessed. How is this even possible? Or am I missing something? Before we move on to the next video, just another reminder. If you still haven't liked, commented, or subscribed to the channel yet, please do so now. I wouldn't want to send a Bigfoot after you, and don't forget to share with your friends and family as well. Thank you very much. In Miami, people have been spotting these strange objects in the sky, and our next clip captures one of those situations. It looks like some sort of tank. I'm not very sure of what it is. Some say they might be surveillance balloons, perhaps part of a monitoring or security initiative, but others think it's alien-related. After some personal research, I'm convinced it's nothing more than a blimp. Julius adds that this particular one could have been designed by Goodyear. Is anyone from Miami out there to confirm this for us? Dive into the realm of the uncanny with this peculiar moment caught on camera. A man was sitting on a motorbike with his back turned to the camera when all of a sudden you see him getting off the bike to sit properly on it. But wasn't he already sitting on the bike? A closer look and you'd realize there was something strange about the way he was sitting. So how did he ride the bike if he was seated like that? Well, no one knows, and it's left many to speculate. Some even think the whole thing is nothing but a glitch in the Matrix. You've seen it, right? What's your take on this surreal scene? One night during a storm, a man took out his camera just in time to capture the electrifying moment when lightning strikes. As the darkness of the night was lit up by the strike, we noticed something. There was a strange humanoid creature. It looked much bigger than a human, but the weirdest part of the situation was that the lightning had hit the said creature and the creature burned into ashes and vanished. This might seem like something strange out of a supernatural thriller, but take a good look at the footage again. Did you see that? Some folks are sold on the idea that it's a bona fide demon getting zapped by the forces of nature, while others are throwing around theories of optical illusions or camera glitches. What's your take on it? Is it a stormy encounter with the supernatural or just a quirky play of light and shadows? Share your thoughts in the comments section. This next footage is something to consider as a conspiracy.
What the absolute fuck is it?
While on patrol, a police officer stopped by the woods when he heard this strange sound coming from within. The sound was indescribable and unlike any sound of a creature, but the depth of the sound indicated that whatever or whoever was making the sound must be pretty big. The policeman is convinced that the vocalizations are coming from a Bigfoot, and it's not so surprising. Bigfoot has been a talk in the paranormal community for years, and sounds like this have often been attributed to this enigmatic creature. So could it be the hairy, humanoid giant of the wilderness making those spine-tingling sounds, or is it just another puzzle in the grand tapestry of the unknown? Someone's on a late-night stroll, and if you have followed this channel long enough, you know he's definitely encountering something strange. This time he encounters a creature that's part stick, part scorpion. I know it's unconventional, but it has the appearance of a stick bug, but with some extras. Tucked behind its wings is what looks like a scorpion sting. Turns out it's like a bug in stealth mode. In moments of perceived threat, these remarkable creatures transform their benign appearance into a spectacle of intimidation. The wings part to unveil what seems to be a scorpion sting, an elaborate ruse designed to startle and deter potential predators. Nature never ceases to amaze us with its ingenious adaptations. What are your thoughts on this stick bug's defense strategy? Next, we have a clip of two motorcyclists cruising down the road, one with a camera capturing the journey. The twist? The camera-wielding rider overtakes his friend and rides ahead, but when he stops to check on his buddy, there is no sign of him, just the lone motorcycle cruising behind. Where could the missing rider have gone? Did he take an unexpected detour, or is there a more extraterrestrial explanation like an alien abduction? There have been stories of people getting taken away in broad daylight by aliens for unknown reasons. Maybe this is just one of them. What do you think? Talk about a real-life plot twist. Here's the lowdown on an unexpected scene. A woman lying unconscious on the ground, catching the attention of a concerned passerby. He quickly rushed to check up on her, but as he got closer, he noticed that she lay on the ground unconscious. She didn't even look like she was breathing. The concerned man yelled out to her until she woke up all of a sudden.
What? Hey, baby, you okay? Hey, what the fuck? Hey, mama, you need to call Mama, call. You all right? You good?
You okay?
You straight? Huh?
She said she was okay and looked pretty confused. Now, spectators suggest that it might be a glitch in the Matrix, but hold on to your conspiracy theories. It turns out there's a more grounded explanation. Our damsel in distress had a seizure and took an unexpected tumble from her bicycle. We really hope that she's okay now. Turns out everything is a glitch in the Matrix. Who knew? In this next footage taken in the UK, someone noticed this strange craft in the night sky. The lights on the craft showed the triangular shape of the craft as it soared through the sky. Naturally, this strange craft has led to many speculations on what we could be dealing with. As people guess and wonder, different opinions come out of the shadows. Some say the craft is from outer space, calling it a UFO. On the other hand, doubters suggest a different story. They think the mysterious vehicle might be something human-made, using otherworldly technology. Both theories seem almost true, but which do you think it is? Something unknown or a result of human innovation? A man was driving through the neighborhood enjoying the tranquility of the surroundings when he spotted another man walking on the pavement, pushing a baby trolley that was engulfed in flames. Tell me that won't freak you out if you see it.
The f you doing? What you doing?
Fire.
Are we fire?
Intrigued by the peculiar sight, the driver decides to stop and ask what he's doing. To this, the man responds, "Fire." His response and appearance show he's not okay, but what could be wrong with him? Some are thinking maybe he's on something, while others are asking, could it be mental health stuff? No matter the reason, everyone can agree on one thing. Seeing a guy calmly walking around with a flaming trolley is just downright bizarre and a little heartbreaking. Just a quick reminder before the next clip comes, if you still haven't liked, commented, or subscribed, could you do so right now? You wouldn't want me to send an alien after you now, would you? Now let's dive into this auditory mystery.
Listen. Whoa. Stay inside, baby.
Picture this. A woman steps out of her home near Cheyenne and, surprise, she hears these strange noises echoing from who knows where. It's like a mysterious soundtrack of a movie, but happening in real life.
What the fuck is that? Okay, but really, what the fuck?
Now here's the twist. It's not the usual mysterious trumpet sounds from the clouds. This is a whole new level of sonic mystery. And guess what? It went down recently on the 2nd of February 2024, to be precise. Now what do you think is causing these unexplained sounds? Is it just nature playing tricks, or maybe a signal from the unknown? Share your thoughts.
Wait for it.
These days, it's hard to write things off as normal or a coincidence because of the surge in the sightings of UFOs, paranormal creatures, and many more. A surveillance camera at someone's doorstep captured something strange in the sky. There it is, a bright object flying by in the sky. No one knows what it was. Could be the wings of a bird flying by, but let's be honest, this looks nothing like a bird. A resident from the area also attested to seeing this object in the sky while on a walk that night. From the usual answers we have for objects in the sky, could this be a UFO or not? We don't know. There have been many sightings of Bigfoot in the woods, yet the one caught in this next footage of ours seems particularly different. From the footage, we're introduced to what appears to be a crime scene. This creature is seen moving in the background. It's obvious that whatever it is, it may be along the lines of a Bigfoot. A part of me wanted to believe it might be another hoax. That was at least the situation until it lifted a tree like it was nothing. When you pay attention to its facial features, you see the face of a human with a nose, a pair of eyes, lips, and a long beard. As the creature stands, the rest of its body is covered in dark fur, and it stands at a height of 8 feet minimum. The way it effortlessly lifts a huge log and smashes it into a tree is something humans can't do. Since we've ruled out the possibility of it being a human in a costume, there's only one possibility left. It's a Bigfoot. A home security camera captured this clip of a strange entity zooming past the cars outside. It's like a glimpse into the unknown right in the driveway. The big question now is, what in the world could that entity be? A neighborhood ghost out for a joyride, or maybe just a high-speed extraterrestrial commuter? This footage is like a snippet from the Twilight Zone caught on camera. If you haven't already hit the like button, subscribed, or even dropped a comment so far, could you please do so now? It goes a long way to help us make more of these videos for you. Thank you so much. Now back to today's episode. Talking of different, a guy finds himself in the underground piping, and the big question is, how in the world did he end up there? Did he leap a large drain or perhaps attempt a daring self-flush down the toilet? The good news is no one got hurt and the guy was safely removed from the pipe. But the mystery remains. What's the origin story of this unexpected plumbing expedition? There are times when animals can be weird and look cute, but when their behavior goes on longer, it starts to look strange, just like in this footage. A man was seen walking his dog. At first, I thought it was cute and funny. I mean, it's a dog walking on its two legs. But then, as they kept walking, the dog didn't go down on all fours. It kept walking on its legs until it turned a corner out of sight. And with what we just saw, I'm pretty sure it could have probably continued till he got home. I don't know about you, but just looking at this gave me some chills. I've seen dogs pull this stunt before, but not for that long. This dog looked like it was possessed or something. Could that have been the case, or has it evolved to move on all twos? Before you come at me in the comments section, think about it. Stories of giants have captured human imagination throughout history, and various cultures around the world have myths and legends about these colossal beings, and one such is the footprint in South Africa. And we're not talking about a faint impression. This print is clean, clear, and as bold as a historical statement can get. Some archaeologists have been to the site to study it, and they have confirmed that this is indeed a footprint. What do you think though, real or not? Now, Julius and I love wild, exotic animals, so we make it our job to search for them and adore them. But even we don't know what this is. It looks like a mix between a bat, a sloth, and a primate. On second thoughts, you could even throw a badger in the mix of animals it looks like. We did a lot of digging, and some individuals thought it might be a long-haired macaque, but our research proved it wasn't. We've done a lot of cross-referencing, and nothing is convincingly similar. Has any of you encountered anything like this? Can you help out with its name? Thanks a lot. The riveting discovery. Someone spotted some movement in a river, and upon closer inspection, this is what he found. No, you're not imagining things. That's an actual lobster, and a colossal one at that. A giant making waves in the water. If you pay attention to the clip, you'll realize that its size is not the only thing that sets it aside. No, take a look at its eyes. Those blood-red eyes certainly will. It's like something out of a deep-sea horror. Nature has a knack of throwing curveballs at us, and this lobster is no different. I know it sounds crazy, but I'd actually want to see this. Anyway, what are your thoughts on this river-dwelling giant with its intense ruby-red eyes? This next footage was sent in by a subscriber. While driving through town, they came across this in the sky. It was a glowing cross in the sky. This is not normal, and naturally it led to some pretty interesting conversations once it was uploaded. For some, the appearance of a luminous cross in the heavens triggers thoughts of divine or supernatural significance. The notion of a heavenly sign or a symbol linked to the rapture emerges, bringing with it a sense of wonder and awe. Others, however, bring a more skeptical lens to the scene, suggesting that it might just be the product of a mundane phenomena, such as a reflection on a car window. What do you guys think, real or fake? In Mexico, this strange structure was found. It looks like some sort of abandoned tunnel that leads into an underground cave system. In there, we had strange stone structures all over. In the darkness, something interesting is revealed. Even though it's hard to see, the person filming says they saw a creature in the deep darkness. The cave is naturally spooky, and thinking about something hiding there makes us wonder what secrets might be hidden inside. Maybe it's a creature that lives underground, or it could just be a trick of the light playing tricks with our minds in the mysterious parts of the cave. One thing is for sure, I'm not going into a cave that looks like this. If you haven't already hit the like button, subscribed, or even dropped a comment so far, could you please do so now? It goes a long way to help us to make more videos like this for you. Thank you so much. Now back to today's episode. These days, all you hear is aliens, aliens, aliens. People spotting extraterrestrial creatures here and there. Take a look at this footage. Gravediggers dig up a grave expecting some valuables, but what do they find? A tall, gray alien, eyes wide open. Now here's where it gets unsettling. The creature starts moving. The big questions hit you like a UFO sighting. How long has this otherworldly visitor been enjoying a nap in the grave, and what in the universe could explain its sudden wake-up call? Well, here's a different take on a night at the club. Forget the energetic beats and wild dance moves. In this peculiar scene, instead of people hitting the dance floor, they're opting for a more laid-back approach, lying on the ground. It's a departure from the typical club scene, and you might find yourself thinking, what's this all about? It's a bit on the boring side. Perhaps these folks are embracing a more relaxed vibe or have found a unique way to enjoy their night out. Different strokes for different folks, I suppose. In 2010, a startling scene unfolded on a golf course when a man witnessed an alligator casually strolling across the greens, appearing to carry a head in its mouth. Whose head was that, and how did the creature get the head? Now, rewind to a year earlier, and the same golf course had a missing persons report linked to it. People had suspected that she was eaten by the alligator that lived in the river nearby, so when this footage came out, people panicked, fearing the gator might be wandering about with the missing woman's head. However, further investigation revealed a less macabre truth. It turns out that the alligator was not carrying a human head, but rather a turtle in its jaws. Just a quick reminder before the next clip comes, if you still haven't liked, commented, or subscribed, could you do so right now? You wouldn't want us to send that big alligator after you now, would you? Exploring the depths of the ocean is indeed a fascinating endeavor, and researchers often encounter mysterious and unique creatures that are rarely seen by humans. The deep-sea environment is home to a diverse range of species, some of which have adapted to extreme conditions such as total darkness and high pressure. Some deep-sea researchers plunge into the abyss with cameras to capture glimpses of these enigmatic beings. In this footage, a particularly intriguing creature comes into view, a strange-looking creature with glowing eyes staring straight into the camera. The presence of glowing eyes in deep-sea creatures is a fascinating adaptation known as bioluminescence. Many marine organisms in the abyssal depths use bioluminescence as a means of communication, camouflage, or attracting prey. The ability to emit light in such a dark environment aids these creatures in navigating, finding food, and interacting with their surroundings. Now the question is, what creature could that be? Is it a new species or something else? My assistant Aaron could find nothing on this creature. Perhaps it's a bias because he believes it's an otherworldly creature. If any one of you know what this is, please do share in the comments section. Alright, let's move on to another odd one. If you pay attention to the footage, there's this strange creature floating in the river. It has this wing-like thing that flaps in the water as it swims. The big question that's on everyone's mind, What are we looking at? To that, the answer is simple. We don't know. Some mention it could be an undiscovered water-dwelling species, or perhaps an extraterrestrial being taking a leisurely dip in our waters. While these sound like a stretch, they're nothing compared to those who think it's a Pokemon. Personally, I don't know what to make of it, so I'd love to hear your thoughts on this aquatic mystery. What are we looking at? A river dweller with a unique swimming style, or a visitor from outer space making a pit stop for a swim? Now, let me share a tale that will send shivers down your spine. A home security camera picked up this eerie footage that has left the homeowner spooked and on edge. In the footage, the homeowner steps into her car looking for a lighter, but little does she know something ghostly is about to unfold. A spectral figure materializes out of thin air near the building, strolling across the camera's view, only to vanish into the bushes on the other side. Here's the kicker. The homeowner herself didn't witness or notice a thing. It was a furry residence, that is, her dogs, that set the alarm bells ringing. One of them even gives chase after the ghostly entity until it mysteriously fades away. What's your take on this spooky home security saga? A ghostly apparition or just a well-timed play of shadows? Ever heard of CERN? It's one of the world's biggest research centers and is known to be very credible. They built the world's largest particle accelerator, which has sparked quite a few negative rumors. Some say the machine is to open a portal to hell. Some say it is the cause of the Mandela effect, and so on. But one particular footage that set the internet ablaze was this footage that was secretly taken by a YouTuber. In the footage, we can see a group of dark-robed people in a circle right in front of the Shiva statue. Shiva is said to be the god of destruction. So what are the odds? As the robed people gather, one person took off the robe and it was a woman. She lies on the ground and another robed person stands over her with a shiny object in hand. He bends over and proceeds to stab her with it. The videographer gets scared and runs away. The footage was later posted on the internet and everyone was talking. However, CERN said it was just a prank by the researchers at the facility, but there was a word that the YouTuber who took the footage died. What do you think of this situation? Is CERN indeed hiding something from the public, or is this just propaganda against the organization? We've all had our fair share of strange encounters, but nothing freaks me out more than seeing human beings being strange. Take a look at this footage that was taken on a train. In the footage, we see a woman attempting to apply lipstick with what might be a mirror in her hand. But when you look carefully, there is no mirror there. Yet somehow she's paying attention to her hands as though she's holding one. What kind of sorcery is this? Is it a glitch of some sort? If not, could she be a mime? Even then, it may not make sense. Am I overthinking it, or do we have something going on here? Share your thoughts with us in the comment section. Now buckle up for a trip back to 1996 in Brazil. You see an alien when you look at this too, don't you? The story behind this is that the Brazilian army shot down a UFO and it crash-landed in Varginha, Brazil. As the military swung in to investigate, they stumbled upon this creature. A peculiar-looking one, which is almost reptilian in appearance and towering at about 7 to 8 feet tall, lurking around the woods. The soldiers managed to capture the mysterious being, but details about what happened next or where it was taken remain shrouded in mystery. Can't say that surprises me, but having seen the clip, what do you think? Is it truly an encounter with an alien, or is someone trying to mislead us? For the record, Aaron believes this is real. What about you? Still on the strange objects in the sky, this rectangular-looking craft was captured cruising through the skies. After seeing it, I concluded that with technology getting more advanced by the day, it could be a secret human creation yet to hit the public stage. I was also very certain it could be alien with all the extraterrestrial chatter going on these days. Julius came, read my notes, and stated it was a B-Wing from Star Wars. So either the Star Wars craft was real or someone is just trying to mess with me. Which do you think it is? And that brings us to the end of today's episode. Thanks for staying with us. Before you go, with there popular trail cams you've come across that you think we should absolutely feature on this channel? Please tell us in the comments section. And if you personally have odd footage you recorded yourself, you can forward it to us via classifiedcaptures@gmail.com. We'll do the needful analysis and include it in our next episode. We'll also give you credit, unless of course you want to remain anonymous. We can't wait to receive your clips. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share this video with your friends and family. Have you ever wondered if ghosts are good entities or not? Before you answer, watch this footage. This lady was busily doing her dishes when all of a sudden, the cupboards in the room flung open and even the bowl she was using slid across the sink. Everything happened so fast that from her reaction you could tell she was shocked and barely had time to react. The encounter didn't cause her any harm, but there are some situations where people do get hurt severely. Yes, there are stories of some having bad experiences during their moments on Earth, hence becoming violent when they're ghosts. These types of ghosts are called poltergeists. They're known to manifest their ghostly tantrums into physical ones. That is when you see things being flown about, hear strange noises, and popular of all, a fireplace lighting on its own. Do you think this is one of them, or am I simply looking for a story where there isn't one? Next, we have a creature that was captured on a trail cam situated in the woods. In the footage, we see the creature was spotted peeking from behind a tree. It possesses light fur and a pair of dark, small eyes. Its nose looks like that of a human, but it's smaller. And when you look at its mouth, you can see how tiny its lips are. The owner of the footage believes that this is a Sasquatch with a much smaller build, just like. Perhaps it could be a juvenile or a dwarf among the Bigfoots. After all, we humans come in all shapes and sizes too. The paranormal community is divided on this, with some calling it the best Sasquatch footage in a long time and others stating that it's obvious that it's just a hoax. While I like to be sure of what I'm dealing with, who am I to get in the way of a good old squabble? What do you think, real or not? I don't know about you, but everyone I know hates it when toilets get clogged. But what happens when it's not your toilet, but a dam drainage? Well, you assemble your best men and start ramming it like it's no one's business. That's exactly what these men did, and after a few seconds, there was a breakthrough, literally. But you have to wonder, what kept it clogged? Well, many who saw the footage claimed many different things. One person states he can see an elk carcass come out. Another person says it's a giant chicken leg. Personally, I don't see it. I believe I'm looking at the log they are ramming the dam with. It appears to have some extra clothes at the end. Perhaps I'm seeing wrong. Can you guys tell me what you think? Next, we have an eerie scene from a school in Pune, India. The footage shows us a group of students and a teacher seemingly trying to restrain a girl, but here's where it takes a hair-raising turn. The girl's body starts contorting in strange and mind-boggling ways while defying gravity. Yeah, she's actually levitating. That claim she's being possessed. Now, we've seen our fair share of orchestrated footage, but something about this sends a chill down the spine, making it hard to dismiss. So could this be a genuine case of possession, or is it just another well-crafted act? Out in the middle of the sea, a fisherman experienced an unexpected twist during a routine fishing expedition. As he eagerly opened his fishing net, expecting a bountiful catch of fish, he was met with a surprising and unusual sight: a snake coiled among the fish. Without missing a beat, the fisherman bravely seized the snake by its head and promptly released it back into the sea. While this encounter might appear nonchalant at first glance, the video stirred some concern among viewers who identified the creature. To the casual observer, this might seem like just another fisherman's tale. However, this was no ordinary snake. It was a sea snake, one of the most venomous creatures known to inhabit the ocean depths. This man was lucky that the snake was in a good mood that day. Perhaps it wasn't luck, perhaps he was just that skilled. What do you think? At a river, a peculiar discovery was made. A cat seemingly turned into stone. The creature appeared petrified, its form transformed over time into a rigid, rock-like statue. The sight sparked various reactions and speculations. While petrification is a natural process where organic material is replaced by minerals, it's not a common occurrence for domestic animals like cats. Typically, petrification is associated with ancient remains buried in specific geological conditions over an extended period. In this case, there might be an alternative explanation, such as the cat getting trapped in a substance that hardened over time, creating the appearance of petrification. Aaron, however, thinks someone from the Harry Potter world used the Petrificus Totalis charm. Thankfully, we know when to take him seriously. Next, we have a peculiar scene straight out of a doll-filled room. In this eerie footage, one particular doll takes the spotlight. A monkey doll, casually lying in a box behind it, decides to make a move. Watch closely. The doll stands up straight, gazes at the ceiling, surveys the room, and in a rather unsettling way turns to look directly at the camera. With an eerie twist of its head, it then nonchalantly goes back to lying on the box as if nothing out of the ordinary just happened. It's like a scene from a horror movie, right? Dolls coming to life. Now, these kinds of videos can be tricks or staged for fun, but it sure gives you a spooky vibe. Anyway, what do you think is going on with that monkey doll? Humans are not the only weird things out there. Don't believe me? Well, take a look at this footage. Someone captured this scorpion-looking insect on a dead grasshopper. I don't know if it was eating the grasshopper or not, but this insect looks like it could cause some damage. After some digging, someone mentioned it was a scorpion fly. Before the name misleads you, these insects are not real flies. They're part of the Mecoptera order. They got the name scorpion fly from the male's private parts, which can look like a scorpion stinger. Now, scorpion flies are usually scavengers or predators. They chow down on all sorts of stuff, including dead insects. As you can see with this presumably dead grasshopper, it's likely just having a meal, either cleaning up the grasshopper or maybe it's having it as a snack. It was great to have solved the mystery, but after some more reading, I realized that there are some slight differences between an actual scorpion fly and what's on the screen. This looks like it actually has a scorpion body while the scorpion fly doesn't. Has anyone out there encountered any of these things? Care to confirm if they actually look like this? If you can, please do so. We'll be reading in the comments. When I saw this, the first thing that came to mind was that it was a hologram and an interesting looking one at that. After watching it for a while, I realized that the individual was trying to explain using technology how interdimensional beings may react to our own. The comments section was crazy, with comments like, "Are you saying ghosts are not necessarily the dead but interdimensional beings?" As much as I wanted to get into the whole thing, I felt it was Aaron's field of work since everything supernatural has to do with him. Having seen it yourself, however, what do you make of it? Now let's examine this unsettling footage captured one evening in 2023 in New York. The sky had an eerie orange hue with what appeared to be smoke or fog lingering in the atmosphere. First off, wildfires are known for casting a reddish-orange tint in the sky, and the smoke they produce can definitely create that foggy effect. If there were any wildfires in the area, that might explain it. Also, industrial activities or certain weather conditions can also contribute to hazy skies and strange colors. However, there was no report of a fire around or bad weather conditions, so what could have caused this? Is the air even safe for the people around to breathe? There is no one in sight wearing a nose mask either.
Ya, teman-teman. Tuh.
Yeah.
Oke, saya dapat. Harumnya.
This man came across a strange-looking creature in a cave. It's said that the creature is a cave gremlin. It was a miniature being with dark, beady eyes and a mouth with teeth sticking out. Many would have run at the sight of this creature, but the man took the creature home, cooked it, and ate it. Yes, this man ate a gremlin. That is one of the most bizarre things I've ever come across on the internet. Gremlins are often considered mythical creatures with various stories and legends attributing them with magical or mischievous qualities. Eating a potential mystical or unknown creature not only disregards cultural and mythical significances, but also poses serious health risks. Who knows what kind of diseases or toxins an unknown creature might carry? If this is indeed real, do you think people should show more respect for unknown and mythical creatures, or should turning them into delicacies be the acceptable norm? Share your thoughts.
Harumnya.
While out in the woods with a friend who was attending to some dried plants, a man started filming and panning his camera around. While we can't tell why he was doing it, we do see something unusual coming into view. Running pretty fast behind a tree was this strange miniature creature. The creature wasn't very far from them and seemed to be running away from the worksite. This creature was clearly bipedal and had largely oddly shaped ears. You can't make out the rest of its features. Some suggest it's an animal known for its ability to stand on two legs, with a small primate or even a kangaroo rat. Others lean toward a more fantastical explanation, a fairy tale creature like a goblin or a forest sprite. Given the short clip, it's hard to tell, but what do you think this mysterious miniature bipedal creature with large ears could be? Let us know in the comments. Have you ever seen a lizard go on a sprint? Not on all fours, but just on two legs. If you haven't, today's your lucky day. Someone spotted this lizard on a tree and decided to take a video, but to his surprise, the reptile decided to climb down the tree and give him a better show. It then started to walk and then run on its hind legs. As shocking as this looks, it's not uncommon in lizards. There are about 50 lizard species that can pull off this stunt, but the lizard species that does this better is the basilisk lizard. They have special scales on their feet that allow them to even walk on water. Because of that, they're nicknamed the Jesus Christ lizard. A cheesy name, don't you think? Next, we have a piece of the puzzle we may never solve. During a sunny day at the beach, some people stumbled upon a wonder that left their minds blown. In a cave by the beach, they found a car stuck in the opening at the top of the cave. The car was tightly stuck in there, which made the whole thing mysterious. I mean, how did it get there? There were no indications of a person or the remains of a person in the car, and the hood of the car was missing. Some experts were brought on board who managed to get the vehicle out, but that doesn't take the mystery away. What is the story behind the car stuck in a beach cave? I just don't get why people put themselves through the torture of going into abandoned houses. They are likely hotspots for paranormal activities. Take a look at this footage, for instance. A woman goes into an abandoned building. She moves from room to room until she gets to one of the toilets. And this happens. In the toilet is black hair that looks like there's a head under the seat. The toilet lid suddenly slams open and closes as soon as the woman gets closer. It's as if the entity is warning her from getting any nearer. This makes her slowly back away from the place. Who knows what entities or spirits linger in these forgotten structures? Would you dare to explore an abandoned house, knowing what might be waiting for you inside? Ever heard of the Wise Man's Woods in England? No? Legend has it that in the past, druids used to perform rituals and sacrifices there, and because of this, the woods are known to harbor a lot of spirits. Recently, a young man shared this chilling video on his social media that has everyone talking.
Walking for like an hour now, it is pissing it down. These two are doing my head in. It's getting dark. I have no idea where the dog is. What?
He had taken his little siblings out for a walk in these very woods. They had been out for so long that it was starting to get dark, and he was getting increasingly frustrated trying to wrangle his siblings back toward home. In a moment of exasperation, he decided to record a video of himself and his siblings to capture their antics. As he was filming, his camera inadvertently caught something terrifying. Behind him, among the trees, there was a dark figure. It moved very quickly and seemed to vanish almost instantly. What makes this even more unsettling is that they were in the infamous Wise Man's Woods. Given the history of this place, it's not surprising that many in the paranormal community believe the figure in the video could be one of the many entities rumored to haunt the woods. Is that the case, though? It's hard to confirm it, but let us know your thoughts in the comments section.
It's getting dark. I have no idea where the dog is.
Here we have another drama in the sky that left people questioning things. If you pay attention to the footage on your screen right now, you'll see a huge patch of cloud shaped like a square. The edges of the patch are so sharp and defined that it's as if someone took out a cosmic ruler and drew a square right there in the atmosphere. No gentle curves or fluffy edges here, just a stark angular interruption in the usual canvas of the sky. As fascinating as this might seem, especially for our meteorology nerds, we have to ask, who's responsible for this? Is it a natural phenomenon, or are humans at it again? Share your thoughts in the comments section. While there have been several footage of paranormal creatures, most of the time people rule them out as hoaxes. For our next footage, however, we have one that was taken by a Facebook user doing a live session. Take a look. The user was having a smoke outside at night while interacting with his audience. He had the camera pointed at the field. You can see the green grass and a streetlight, nothing out of the ordinary. Not long after that, however, something zooms by in the darkness. The creature was pale and transparent. It had long legs and its upper body looked bent downwards. I don't know what type of creature that was, but it was pretty fast. Those following the live session saw it and were puzzled. This is when the guy revealed that he'd been seeing strange things around his home. I want to believe it because the footage is live et al., but doesn't it sound a bit too convenient? This man's unique perspective is truly fascinating.
When you take all the temples that are around the pyramid and the other two pyramids that are next to it, and you look at it from the sky looking down, and you connect them, you get a inner planet system of our solar system.
When you take a bird's eye view of the Pyramid of Giza and the surrounding temples, you notice something remarkable. The arrangement mirrors the interplanetary solar system. When compared with a NASA map, the alignment fits incredibly well. But here's the intriguing question. NASA wasn't around in those ancient times, so how did they figure this out? Think about it. The precision and accuracy needed to map such a complex structure to the solar system are astounding. This suggests that the ancient builders must have had access to some advanced form of technology or knowledge that allowed them to achieve this. It's a mind-boggling thought. How did they gain such an understanding of astronomy? Did they possess sophisticated tools or methods lost to history? Or was there an exchange of knowledge from otherworldly sources? Share your thoughts and perspectives. Let's decode this together. One night in the Balkans, a resident was woken up by strange sounds in the middle of the night. Curious and a bit unsettled, he decided to investigate.
Ничто се не види.
He grabbed a flashlight and made his way toward the mountain. As he got closer, an eerie feeling of immense fear began to wash over him. That's when he saw them. Two figures, each about 12 feet tall, stood on either side of a stone pillar. The figures were dark, with the shapes of humans draped in robes and wings spread behind them. They looked like angels, but their presence was haunting and otherworldly. The man managed to capture some footage, and when he shared it online, the internet went wild. Many believed these figures were angels. Their towering forms and wings fitted the description perfectly. However, others had a more sinister interpretation, suggesting they might be fallen angels or some other dark entities. After the sun had gone down, someone captured this candid moment. In the plain blue sky with no indication of sunlight, two vibrant orange rays tear through the fabric of the sky, casting an otherworldly glow on the earth. Pretty cinematic, right? Now, the scientific explanation would lean towards crepuscular rays, those beautiful beams of sunlight filtering through gaps in the clouds or terrain. They're like nature's own spotlight, creating this awe-inspiring display. However, I get it. There's something almost mystical about it that makes you pause. Could this be just a natural phenomenon, or is there something else at play here? Sometimes the beauty of nature just has that effect on us, making us ponder the wonders of the universe. Whether it's a trick of the light or something more magical, moments like this certainly make the world feel a bit more enchanting. Don't you agree? In this next footage, we're faced with another one of those mysterious sea creatures. This one looks like a giant spider with extremely long legs. Some say that this is a big fin squid. Big fin squid, also known as Magnappina, a deep-sea squid known for their long, slender arms and unique fin structures. These deep-sea creatures are often encountered in exploration of the ocean depths, and their appearance can be quite unusual and mysterious. What stories does this spider-like denizen of the deep carry, and how does it contribute to the ever-expanding narrative of the marine marvels? Religion is often seen as a counterattack against evil forces, at least that's what many religious people believe. They practice rituals like praying, attending Mass, and reading sacred texts such as the Bible or the Quran, believing these acts protect them from dark entities.
El Señor esté con ustedes y con tu espíritu.
Back in 2022, something truly chilling happened in Chihuahua, Mexico that got people talking.
El Señor esté con ustedes y con tu espíritu.
During a mass, while a priest was reading from the Bible, a loud, echoing scream pierced the air. It sounded like a man's voice desperately crying out for help. The eerie sound was so disturbing that they could see the priest and everyone on the podium turn to look back, visibly shaken. The video doesn't show where the scream came from, but it left the congregation and viewers online deeply unsettled. Some people believe it might have been a sign of a tormented soul or even a dark entity reacting to the holy reading.
El Señor esté con ustedes y con tu espíritu.
Kritz was in Japan with her family on a night out. They were just taking a stroll, she, her husband, and their 2 sons. The boys were standing by a sakura tree while their father filmed them when suddenly he noticed something strange in the video. On one of the boy's legs, there was a pale hand gripping him from behind. The boy didn't seem to feel anything, didn't move, didn't see it, but his father did. Panicked, he rushed over, but by the time he got there, the hand had vanished. He looked around the tree, but there was nothing in sight. When Dark Secrets posted the video, the comments section blew up with theories. One commenter said it might be an ashwang, but traditionally, ashwangs are floating heads and aren't no damn hands. Another commenter suggested it was a duende, a type of mischievous spirit. Others speculated that it could be an entity from the tree, something attaching itself to the boy. Japan is famous for its haunting folklore and eerie encounters, so could that be the case here? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section. This footage was taken in Anna, Illinois. It looks like some sort of stormy cloud, and it's very terrifying. A little research, and Julius discovered it was called a storm wall. Aaron believes it was the wrath of the gods, but thank God we have Julius for things like this. Storm walls, also known as shelf clouds, are captivating weather phenomena. Typically manifesting at the forefront of thunderstorms, they form when cold air descends, displacing and uplifting the warmer air ahead, resulting in distinctive and occasionally dramatic cloud formations. Shelf clouds look like wedges along the horizon, giving a kind of scary appearance, but they can make beautiful views. They're not tornadoes or wall clouds linked to severe weather. Instead, they happen because of the complicated mix of air movements during thunderstorms. Have you ever seen anything like this before? Share with us in the comments section. After a snowstorm, a man went walking through the forest when he came across a strange spectacle in the woods. There was some sort of white smoke coming from a tree. Now it's very curious because it just snowed and there was no indication of a fire being lit up. This situation sparks talks on the internet. A theory emerges suggesting that the tree might serve as a clandestine passageway to an underground bunker, with the smoke serving as a telltale sign of covert activity below. These bleeding tree clips never get old. Just look at that. A man is cutting through a tree and gushing out his crimson red liquid. It's an astonishing sight, almost as if the tree is alive in a way we don't usually think about. This phenomenon is typically seen in a specific type of tree known as the bloodwood tree, found in places like South Africa. When cut, it releases a sap that resembles blood, adding to its mystique and intrigue. The crimson sap isn't actually blood, of course, but it does serve a purpose. It can act as a deterrent to pests and helps heal wounds to protect the tree from infections. The sight of the red sap flowing from the tree can be both mesmerizing and unsettling, making you question the wonders of nature. Have you ever seen anything like this before? Someone came across this unusual creature on the ground in the park. It looked like a bat, but it was out during the day and seemed quite aggressive. It let out a strange growl, like squeak, as it tried to attack the man behind the camera. Finding such a creature during the day is unusual for a bat, as they are typically nocturnal. The aggressive behavior and the strange vocalizations add to the mystery. While bats can sometimes be active during the day due to illness or disturbance, it's rare to encounter one acting so aggressively. What do you think this creature could be?
Hello.
Now, that's what I call dedication to the extraterrestrial aesthetic. This man's lying down perfectly still, as a tattoo artist works their magic, creating a masterpiece right on his skin. It's not just any tattoo. Oh no, this is a full-body extravaganza featuring none other than an alien creature set against the backdrop of a vibrant, swirling galaxy. Talk about out of this world. You can't help but be struck by the sheer artistry and creativity on display. The intricate details of the alien's otherworldly features, the mesmerizing swirls of colors that make up the galaxy, it's a sight to behold, to say the least. Would any of you get this done? Look at these magnificent creatures. I know what some of you are thinking. This must be AI. Well, it's not. It turns out these birds are pretty much very, very real. They're called the Andean condor. They are a massive bird species that can have a wingspan of up to 10 feet, 3 meters or more, making them one of the largest flying birds in the world. They have black feathers that cover most of their bodies, but their wings boast white markings that make for a striking visual contrast. They have distinctive white ruffs of feathers around the necks, which are particularly noticeable when they're in flight. On their bald heads, they have colorful fleshy wattles that add to their regal appearance. Sadly, despite being awe-inspiring sights, the Andean condor is a vulnerable species that are facing numerous threats. Due to habitat loss, poaching, and poisoning, their numbers are rapidly declining. Sad, huh? Next, we got a group of friends out in Auburn who went fishing one day, hoping for a relaxing day by the water. But their peaceful outing took a wild turn when an unexpected creature appeared not too far from them.
Look at that. What the? Oh my God. Go! Run!
It was an 8-foot-tall being covered in brown fur, striding purposefully towards some nearby bushes. The sheer size and presence of the creature left them in stunned silence for a moment. Then, instincts kicked in, and they bolted straight toward their car, hearts pounding with fear and adrenaline. Luckily, one of them had been filming their fishing adventure, capturing the mysterious figure on camera. The footage is shaky, understandably so given the circumstances, but you could make out the tall, fur-covered creature moving. Now, this clip has the paranormal community excited. Some who live in the area want to go check it out, hoping they can find the big guy. Despite their excitement, however, there are those who believe the whole thing was staged by the friends. What do you think?
What the? Oh my God. Go! Run!
Would you believe me if I told you we're at the point of growing aircraft skins and building planes that can change their shapes mid-flight? Sounds futuristic, I know, but listen.
New materials that are on the lab bench right now, they can literally change shape on command. They can become almost a muscular material.
We could have an airplane that optimizes its shape for the different flight conditions it's in.
Lockheed Martin has always been at the forefront of groundbreaking technology, but their latest innovations are truly mind-blowing. They recently announced the development of an aircraft skin that could optimize its shape based on the type of flight. Sounds eerily similar to the descriptions of UFOs we've heard over the years, right? One of the men mentions OS, an aircraft that can change its shape mid-flight to become more aerodynamic, efficient, or stealthy, depending on the situation. This kind of adaptive technology could revolutionize aviation as we know it. No longer would aircraft be limited by a fixed design. They could morph and adapt, much like how nature's most efficient flyers, like birds, adjust their wing shapes. But here's where it gets even more interesting. The concept of shape-shifting aircraft brings to mind the countless UFO sightings reported worldwide. Many of these unidentified flying objects are described as having the ability to change shape or perform maneuvers that defy conventional aerodynamics. Could Lockheed Martin be inching us closer to technologies that once seemed purely science fiction? While I would love to think so, some individuals in the paranormal community believe they already have the technology and are only sensitizing us to it before they launch it. There are some who also believe that the aliens we see are no aliens at all. They believe it's Lockheed and his team testing their technology, or even running it. What do you think?
New materials that are on the lab bench right now, they can literally change shape on command. They can become almost a muscular material.
We could have an airplane that optimizes its shape for the different flight conditions it's in.
All right, let's dial down the drama a notch. Imagine you're scrolling through some footage and stumble upon a group of people in uniforms gathered around this large metallic sphere that's appeared out of nowhere on the beach. It's definitely an unusual sight, no denying that. The sphere itself is pretty straightforward. It's big, metallic, and has an almost otherworldly sheen to it. But beyond its appearance, there's not much else to go on. No clear explanation of how it got there or what it's doing on the beach. Now, some folks are tossing around the idea that it could be of alien origin, but let's not jump to conclusions just yet. It's just as likely that it's some kind of man-made structure or even a piece of equipment that's been washed ashore. But hey, who knows? Maybe there's more. What would you do if you were out exploring the woods and came across a creature such as this? Yes, I did say creature, and anyone who has watched Lord of the Rings would understand the reference. This creature was reportedly captured roaming a Chinese valley. The creature was found crouched, but only for a short while, as it did its best to get away from those filming it. We're not exactly sure if it knew it was being filmed. One thing that we however know for sure is that it didn't like it one bit. So what is it? Well, no one is really sure. The Chinese thought it was a Jiangxi when they saw it, but the appearance and movement didn't match what they knew about the Jiangxi. For those unfamiliar with the term, also known as the hopping vampire or hopping zombie, is a reanimated corpse from Chinese folklore known for its stiff, hopping movements and its thirst for the life force of the living. This didn't look stiff, and it was too shy to be one. One creature, however, fits this description: Gollum. Anyone who has watched The Lord of the Rings or read the books is familiar with the character that was cursed into its grotesque appearance with its emaciated form, pale skin, luminous eyes, and jagged teeth. Up until this time, we've always thought it to be fictional, so what could be going on here?
Good morning, guys. It is literally 5 a.m. and I opened the back door to put some dry food out for the stray kitties, and there are people feet printed all over my deck in the snow. Okay, I'm gonna open this. I'm not going out there. Do you see this? They start over there, and it like barefoot walks up to the table. There's nothing coming up to the... Maybe there is some coming up to the door. What? And I don't see any in the yard.
Next, we've got this clip from a woman who shared a strange and eerie encounter she's been experiencing at her home. She lives near the woods, and every once in a while, stray cats come to her doorstep, so she feeds them. One night, she woke up to the stray cats crying outside. Concerned, she went out to put some food out for them. That's when she noticed something unsettling. On her deck, where there was a thin layer of snow, there were prints, human footprints, lots of them. It looked like a group of people had come to stand there. The footprints led from the woods and then back into the woods. The footprints were human-sized, about the same size as her own feet. Not knowing what to make of it, she went back in and slept. The next day, she shared the footage online. A commenter asked her to contact the police, but she said she already did that, and they said since there was no break, there was not much they could do. A few nights later, she noticed the footprints again. They came from the woods and returned to the woods just like before. It's snowing out and very late at night. Who would be walking barefoot in the snow, and why were they always visiting her house? People online had all sorts of theories. Some suggested it might be a group of pranksters trying to spook her. Others thought it could be something more supernatural, a ghostly visitation, or even a mysterious group of people living in the woods. Whatever the case, we don't have answers, but she seems to be doing well. She even joked with one of the commenters on her page. It's our prayer that her life isn't in any danger and that she's as safe as she believes.
Do you see this? They start over there. And it like barefoot walks up to the table. There's nothing coming up to the... Maybe there is some coming up to the door.
A man by the name of Erwin Saunders claims to have captured pixies in the forest. Let's take a look at the clip he posted to support his claim.
He's been trying to hurl these across to his accomplice on the other side. And if I just move the camera across, you'll be able to see just there. He's gesturing back to him and saying, "Come on, throw another one."
In the clip, we see small humanoid creatures with green skin, bald heads, and pointy ears on the sides of their heads. Both were on rocks that were a bit apart from each other. One had these wooden contraptions on its back and had gathered some sort of fruits on it, while the other was making hand motions as if asking for some of the fruits to be thrown to it. It's very fascinating to watch and looks very real. Pixies are often depicted in folklore as playful and mischievous creatures, usually associated with nature and woodland areas. The details in Erwin's footage, from the appearance of the creatures to their behavior, looks very convincing. However, in this age of advanced technology and digital effects, it's essential to approach such extraordinary claims with a healthy dose of skepticism. On the other hand, the world is full of unexplained phenomena, and there's always the possibility that there are things out there that we have yet to discover. What are your thoughts on this?
There, he's gesturing back to him and saying, "Come on, throw another one."
This heartwarming incident captured on camera shows that animals can display compassion towards each other. It's all started when a poor cat fell into a body of water and was struggling to keep its head above. Fortunately, a dog noticed the cat's plight and quickly jumped into the water without any hesitation. The dog then swam toward the cat and allowed it to clamber onto its back. The cat, now standing on the dog's back, was able to climb out of the water safely. The dog's selfless act of kindness towards the helpless cat shows that animals can be incredibly compassionate towards each other. While many found this heartwarming, a number of them were upset and wondered why the person filming did nothing. I can't fault them for thinking so, but it doesn't take away the fact that this was rather heartwarming anyway. In recent times, there have been numerous reports of creatures that have been found and suspected of being alien or extraterrestrial origin. While some humans dream of meeting aliens, one guy's out there actually transforming himself to look like aliens, and one such individual is currently undergoing a project to transform himself into an alien. He's aptly named his endeavor the Black Alien Project and has undergone multiple surgeries to modify his body to resemble that of an extraterrestrial being. As part of his transformation, the man has tattooed nearly 90% of his body with black ink and has also altered his lips to give them an inhuman appearance. His upper lip, in particular, bears a striking resemblance to that of an alien. Looking at the progress he's made so far, it can be said that his project is looking quite promising. So while he may not hail from the stars above, he's certainly making waves down here on Earth with his unique project. What are your thoughts on his transformation? During a lightning storm, someone captured something incredible in the sky. A shadowy figure that looks like a giant. take a look.
Oh, holy fucking shit, guys.
The figure, cloaked in a robe and holding a stick, appeared and disappeared as quickly as the lightning struck. It looks like a scene straight out of a myth or fairy tale came to life for just a moment. We all know the story of Jack and the Beanstalk with its giant living in the clouds. Could it be that giants do exist, but in a form we don't yet understand? Perhaps they live in another dimension or realm only visible to us under specific conditions like this lightning strike. That would be cool, and I'm getting excited just thinking about it. But then again, we live in a world of AI, deepfakes, and clever editing. Could this be someone making fun of the paranormal community? Let us know what you think.
Oh, holy fucking shit, guys.
We started this clip with one unusual Facebook Live video.
That's my backyard. I'm swimming in a little piece. This is the exact spot that I just
This young lad was home when he realized strange and unusual things were happening. It felt like there was someone home with him, but that shouldn't have been the case because he was home alone. He called out a number of times asking if anyone was there, but there was no response. Freaked out, he went live on his social media page and started telling everyone what was happening. It was at this moment that whatever it was that was moving around his property decided to sneak across his yard. Unfortunately for the being, and fortunately for him, his camera was facing in the direction the being moved, and he was able to capture a few seconds of footage. That's what you see on your screen. The big question now is, what is that? The simple answer, no one knows. He suspects it's some unknown cryptid, and judging by its size and movement, I'm tempted to agree with the hypothesis. It seems like whatever it is, it didn't want to be seen and didn't want any trouble. Once his friends saw what he saw, they rushed to his home to see if they could find it, but they couldn't. They chose to upload this to find answers, and the paranormal community was divided about it. Some saw a demon, others a cryptid, and a small sect, an otherworldly creature. The strangest answer was from this user. He believed it was an ostrich. There were also some who thought the whole thing had to be fake or CGI. Given the quality of the clip, it's hard to tell without a professional's input, and our video editor is away with Julius on a mission we can't tell you about yet. So I'm gonna fall back on you for this one. What do you guys think is happening here? Do you think this is real or not? Let us know in the comments section.
That's the exact motherfucking spot now. That's my backyard. I'm zooming in a little piece. This is the exact spot that I just...
A peculiar craft was recently spotted in the sky, hovering among the clouds. The object is disc-shaped and has several rotating circles around its perimeter. As it moves across the sky, the circles keep rotating at a steady pace, giving the impression of a machine in motion. Witnesses describe the object as completely silent and moving with great agility, unlike any aircraft they've ever seen. Some have speculated that it might be a new kind of unidentified flying object, while others believe it could be a secretive military aircraft. The take of my team is that this has to be a hoax. I don't agree with them, though. Until we can prove beyond reasonable doubt that it's false, I don't think we should call it that. What do you think? As we all know, gravity is one of the fundamental forces of nature that plays a crucial role in our daily lives on Earth. It's the force that holds everything together and keeps us grounded. However, I recently stumbled upon some intriguing footage that has left me feeling confused. In the clip, a hand is seen grabbing a strange piece of stick that's shaped like a spiral. The stick is then placed under running water, and to everyone's surprise, it begins to spin as it moved upward while still under the running water. While I'm no science whiz, I doubt this follows the law of physics. Unfortunately, our resident scientist is out of the studio investigating a phenomena we intended to show in our next clip, so he can't be of help. Can any of you help? Is this some kind of optical illusion or trick of the camera? Or is there really a scientific explanation for the phenomenon? Please share your thoughts. No, that spider isn't moonwalking, but it is walking on water. It looks like something out of a fairy tale, except it's not. This here is a type of tarantula that has tiny hairs on its leg that allow it to avoid breaking surface tension. In simpler terms, this quality allows it to walk on water without sinking. The sight is mesmerizing and a bit eerie. After all, there's a tarantula defying the laws of nature. The tiny hairs, known as setae, are what enable this remarkable feat. The combination of the spider's black body with the striking white spots on its legs makes it look almost otherworldly as it moves effortlessly across the water's surface. But rest assured, nothing alien or paranormal happening here. It's just science. If any of you come across any of these spiders, share your experience. Now take a look at another wonder that was captured by a group of hikers. They stumbled upon this massive rock structure, but guess what? They discovered that this rock wasn't just a solid mass. It had compartments with doors that could be opened, leading into a tunnel. Being the logical beings they are, they didn't dare venture inside. Around the world, there are numerous secret facilities, many constructed during wartime for people to hide out. Interestingly, in some of these facilities, strange and suspicious things have been found that don't quite fit the narrative of being mere wartime hideouts for soldiers. Considering this stone structure in the middle of nowhere, what could have been done there? Was it an ancient facility of some sort, or perhaps the lair of an intelligent being? Some think that it's how Bigfoot hides from us. Sounds ludicrous, I know, but we still need an explanation, so share your thoughts. No, this is no alien. This is actually a species of bird on our planet. If you're expecting me to tell you which, I won't be doing that because it's our bonus clip of the day. This is your opportunity to show us how much you know about the Earth as we search for signs of life out there. Tell us what bird this is and give us one fact about it. The best answer gets a feature and shout out in our next episode. That would be nice, wouldn't it? Start your answer with the word bonus so we can easily identify it. All the best. This next one was sent in by a subscriber of this channel. Just a quick reminder that you too can send in your clip. According to him, he captured it on a trail cam he'd set in the woods near his house. It was meant to capture wildlife, but instead it captured a life that, although wild, didn't fit your typical description of wildlife. There on the screen is a girl moving across the forest floor with the fluidity and grace that's almost otherworldly. But here's the thing, she's not just strolling along like your average hiker. No. She's running on all fours. Her movements so animalistic that at first glance you might mistake it for just another woodland creature. But hold on, it gets even stranger. The girl, dressed in human clothes but sporting an animal mask and a tail, effortlessly leaps into the air as if defying gravity itself. It's a scene that's as mesmerizing as it is baffling. Could it be a person with inhuman abilities, or is this some type of prank stunt being pulled on the Trailcam owner? Yeah, that's a road flooded with water and ice. Just look at that. I hope the person who took the footage is fine because the water is at the same level as the front mirror, and the car is submerged in it. Nature is scary. The sheer power and unpredictability of natural forces can be overwhelming. Floods like this remind us of how vulnerable we are to the elements. One moment everything is calm, and the next you're facing a torrent of icy water that could sweep away cars and pose serious dangers to anyone caught in its path. It's astonishing how quickly conditions can change, transforming a familiar road into a hazardous river. The combination of water and ice makes it even more treacherous, with the risk of hypothermia and the challenge of navigating through ice chunks. On second thought, is that even ice at all? And how hasn't the engine given up already? Share your thoughts. If you have got trypophobia, skip this one. You have been warned. What we have here is the fascinating and somewhat eerie sight of a mother Suriname toad. These creatures are truly unique in the animal kingdom, and what you're seeing is a remarkable example of their distinctive reproductive process. The holes on her back from which the baby toads are emerging are part of an extraordinary adaptation. Instead of laying eggs in water like most amphibians, the Suriname toad has developed a method that keeps her offspring safe and close. Here's how it works. The female Suriname toad lays her eggs, and then the male fertilizes them. But instead of leaving the eggs in the water, the male pushes them into the skin on her back, where they become embedded in individual pockets. Over time, the skin grows over these pockets, creating a honeycomb-like structure. Inside these pockets, the eggs hatch and the tadpoles develop, staying safe and nourished by their mother's body until they're ready to emerge as fully formed little toads. This process is not only unique, but also a bit unsettling to watch. Seeing tiny toads pop out from the holes in her back can be surprising and might make your skin crawl a little. Yet it's a brilliant evolutionary strategy, ensuring that the young have a higher chance of survival by keeping them protected during their most vulnerable stages. Creepy, but fascinating. Cloning has always been a fascinating yet controversial topic. It's a subject many avoid for obvious reasons. This next clip might change their opinion, though. You see it too, right? A factory producing silicon human heads, torsos, limbs, and other body parts. Isn't it amazing how detailed and realistic they look? The movement of the robotic upper torso gives me the heebie-jeebies with its lifelike movements and gestures. While I see what these could be used for, I can't help but wonder if it's safe to even have them. I mean, anyone could be impersonated using these cloned body parts. One second thought, how do we know that's not already happening? After all, we've got some world leaders acting weird and not like themselves every now and then. If these things are truly being used to impersonate others, then perhaps we need to be extra careful. What do you think, though? Do you think that that's a possibility, or am I just being a conspiracy theorist? Please share your thoughts. Someone shared this footage. It was a video of a disc-like craft being chased by a jet. Unfortunately, the exact location where the incident was captured remains unknown. The jet seems to be in hot pursuit of the UFO, which has led some commenters to speculate that the UFO is a government-made and that the jet is accompanying the craft. This would explain why the jet is so close to the UFO. However, others believe that the footage is entirely fake and that it's been doctored to make it appear as if the UFO is being chased by a jet. It's worth noting that there have been numerous instances in the past where people have claimed to have captured footage of UFOs, but these have later been debunked as hoaxes or natural phenomenon. Members of my team think that might be the case here, but then again, nothing's false until it can be proven so, right? Anyway, what are your thoughts? Next, we've got a man who was exploring a cave mine thinking he was alone. But then he noticed something unusual from one of the mine portals. There, emerging from the shadows, was a humanoid dark figure with a glowing head. Naturally, the internet had a field day with this one. Some commenters quickly dismissed it, saying it was just a person with a headlamp. That's the rational explanation, and it makes sense. I mean, it does look like an explorer with a high-powered headlamp that may just be giving off an otherworldly glow in the darkness. But others were not so sure. They felt there was more at play. What if it's not just a headlamp? What if it's something supernatural? Mines and caves have long been the settings for ghost stories and legends. The combination of isolation and the unknown depths make them perfect breeding grounds for tales of the unexplained, and this could be one of them. This bizarre-looking set of remains was found deep in the forest. The carcass is massive and you can clearly see the ribs. However, when you get to the head, there's something truly alarming. The head looks strikingly similar to one of the raptors from Jurassic World. This doesn't even look like it was made. It's covered in dust and embedded in the forest's floor, indicating that this thing has been here for quite a while. Could these be the remains of a dinosaur? Perhaps one that somehow survived until more recent times, long after dinosaurs were believed to have gone extinct. Just imagine a dinosaur or something very much like it existing in our time. How did it survive? What did it eat? Where did it live? These are questions that scientists would be eager to explore. Experts in paleontology and zoology would need to examine the remains closely, analyzing the bone structure and possibly extracting DNA to determine what kind of creature this was. For now, we can only speculate. But one thing is certain: this discovery is extraordinary and needs a thorough investigation. A group of cave explorers came across this eerie scene in a cave. In the middle of the cave, there's a pile of human skeletons stacked like pillars. The old bones tell a sad story of something bad that happened long ago. But that's not all. As the explorers keep going, they find another room full of bones, skulls, leg bones, ribs, all mixed together like a scary puzzle of death. What happened in this lonely place to leave behind such a scary scene? Was it once a graveyard where people buried their loved ones? Or maybe something worse hides in the darkness, waiting for someone brave enough to find out? Next, we've got a rather unusual discovery. Take a look. Someone posted this clip on the internet showcasing a crash site that was being closely guarded by men in uniforms. A second look, and you'd realize that the object they seem to be guarding is in no way terrestrial. In other words, it doesn't look like it belongs on our planet. But how is this possible? Did the government run into a UFO and decide to transport it? Then again, if it's the government, it would be done in secrecy, so no one sees it. Unless, of course, they want us to know there are aliens and they've got things belonging to these aliens. Personally, I don't think that's the case. If it was, it would be on every major news outlet. It was at this point in my confusion that a team member mentioned the possibility of it being a movie set. Why didn't I think of that? After all, Hollywood is known for creating elaborate sets and props that simulate otherworldly scenarios, and it's not unusual for such productions to have security personnel controlling access to these sets. The presence of uniformed guards could imply that it's a high-budget production that requires extra security measures. That's what we're thinking, but let us know what your thoughts are. A driver on the highway got the shock of a lifetime when this came driving by. It was a truck with a giant, mysterious object strapped to its trailer. Honestly, I don't even know how to describe this thing. It's enormous, and it's hard to tell if it's metallic or something else entirely. The shape is bizarre, almost otherworldly. Naturally, the internet has been buzzing with speculation. One commenter suggested it might be a sculpture being transported to an art exhibit or a museum. But with all the weirdness out there these days, it's hard not to be skeptical. Could it be some kind of top-secret government equipment, a prototype for a new type of vehicle or machinery? Maybe it's part of a movie set or something. The possibilities are endless, and that's what makes it so intriguing. There are some, however, who believe the whole thing is a hoax and a fake. What say you? Would you look at that? A table of pandas having a party. Very hilarious. Look at what the zookeepers have prepared for these fuzzy guys. 4 large pandas are sitting on wooden chairs around a table of food, munching away. Such an adorable sight to see. These pandas, with their big round faces and playful behavior, always manage to bring a smile to our faces. The zookeepers have set up a delightful spread of bamboo and other treats, making it look like a proper panda feast. It's heartwarming to see the pandas enjoying their meal, almost like a group of friends. This looks like some sort of apocalypse. In the footage is the moon looming ominously closer to Earth. Now, before you start stocking up on canned goods and building your underground bunker, it's important to exercise a healthy dose of skepticism. I don't know about you, but it all seems a bit too, fake. It seems more like a movie than real life, and the quality of the video is kinda questionable too. While it will be disappointing if this is edited, it wouldn't be so surprising. After all, the internet is chock full of doctored footage and elaborate hoaxes designed to dupe unsuspecting viewers. The last thing I want, is to mislead you guys. But then again, maybe I'm being too much of a skeptic. What do you guys think? Now, this lady is holding a small rock in her hand. The rock has this intricate design on it. According to the story, she said she saw the rock fall from the sky and that it even felt hot to the touch. Some think it's a piece of a meteorite formed in space and hurled toward Earth through the atmosphere. If that were true, it would make this rock an incredibly rare and fascinating object, as it would contain clues about the early formation of our solar system and the wider universe. Others, however, speculate that the rock may be something more extraordinary. They suggest that it could be a fragment of a celestial object originating from a distant planet or even another galaxy. If this is the case, the rock could hold secrets about the origins of life elsewhere in the universe and provide crucial evidence for scientists seeking to understand the mysteries of deep space. While I pondered what the possibilities could be, I noticed something about the woman's fingers, and surely enough, other members of my team did too. We checked the comments section, and someone had too. Can you see it? No? Editor, let's bring up the comment right now. You see it now, don't you? Her fingernails have dark dirt in them that looks to be similar color as the rock. It's made everyone who noticed it think she created the rock herself and passed it off as being extraterrestrial. What do you think? Moving on, what do we have here? An 8-foot-long centipede-like creature? How is this even possible? The paranormal community has been buzzing with this video, and people are divided on what it really is. Some are calling it a cryptid, while others are convinced it's edited footage, one made from clever CGI or special effects. Looking at it, I'm tempted to join the AI gang on this. Before Julius went on his trip, he saw this clip and told me there were no creatures like this. I did my research and found nothing too. Our in-house video editor also stated that this was more 3D than it was realistic. Looking at it again, I get where they're coming from, and I believe this is definitely not real. Despite this assertion, there are some who are unable to tell if it's real or not. Some have even advocated that it be killed. The only reason they will do that is if they believed it was real. This has left me wondering, am I thinking it isn't real because the two skeptics on my team convinced me that it was not, or is that really the case? Share your opinion. Do you think it's real? Or do you side with us in believing this is nothing but CGI? Speaking of thoughts, what are yours on divine intervention? Because the story I'm about to tell you might just blow your mind. The title of the world's luckiest man goes to Frane Selleck. For those unfamiliar with the name, Frane Selleck is a music teacher from Croatia whose life has been characterized by unbelievable escapes and near-death experiences that seem almost too incredible to be real. His story is a roller coaster of extraordinary events that have left many wondering if divine intervention played a role in his remarkable survival. In 1962, Frane was on a train that derailed and plunged into an icy river. 17 passengers drowned, but Frane managed to swim to safety with only a broken arm and hypothermia. The following year, during his first and only plane flight, the doors suddenly blew off and he was sucked out of the aircraft. Incredibly, he landed in a haystack and survived with minor injuries while the plane crashed, killing 19 people on board. But it didn't stop there. Over the years, Frane's life was dotted with more miraculous escapes. A bus crashed into a river, a car fire that engulfed his vehicle in flames, being hit by a city bus, and another car crash that saw his vehicle explode after he just managed to escape. In 1995, while driving on a mountain road, his car collided with a truck, causing his car to burst into flames. Miraculously, he managed to escape without any serious injuries. 2 years later, he narrowly avoided another fatal accident when he was struck by a bus in Zagreb, walking away with minor injuries once again. The most astounding part of Frane's story came in 2003 when he won the lottery, pocketing nearly $1 million. After all those years of close calls with death, it seemed the universe finally decided to reward him. What do you think? Does Frane's story make you believe in the possibility of divine intervention, or do you think it's all just a series of incredible coincidences? There is a widely accepted belief among various cultures in the scientific community that civilizations existed before our time. Over the years, evidence of such past civilizations have been found in the form of various artifacts.
This one really isn't my story, but we'll talk about it briefly. Anybody in here know what that is? Okay, so we got at least one person in here that knows what it is. Let me show you another picture, close-up of it.
Recently, a cave explorer made a fascinating discovery in a private cave located in Manti, Utah. The explorer came across two rocks in the cave, one of which was glowing. The other rock, which was found to be an unusual stone, resembled an ostrich egg but was made of rock. The explorer didn't touch the glowing rock but took flakes from the strange stone for testing. Upon testing, several things were found in the stone, including human blood that dates back as far as 3000 BC. This enigmatic artifact raises many questions. Could it be a relic of a bygone era lost to the annals of time? You tell me.
I can't tell you those kind of things on any of this stuff. I mean, to be honest with you, I don't know who owns it. I know who had access to it when I saw it, but I can't even give you that information. That's not for me to give.
Intrigued by this discovery, I went digging around and discovered even more news on golem-looking creatures. This sighting was also captured in the valleys of Beijing. Unlike the first one, this one had huge ears and moved rather quickly. On second thought, I think the first one is also capable of moving quickly. The difference is in the shyness, at least those are my thoughts. This was allegedly captured by a tourist who was exploring the valleys of Huairu, located north of Chinese capital. According to the tourist, he was taking a short break when he noticed the creature suddenly appear. The sighting has caused quite a stir among locals in the tourist community. Personally, it's stirring up thoughts within me as well. Why are there golem-like creatures appearing in China? Is there something in China we're not aware of? Is the golem-like creature to the Chinese what Bigfoot is to the Americans? So many questions. Either way, what do you think of both sightings? I don't know if this guy has a death wish or something.
Ma! Ma!
The person behind the camera is freaking out and yelling as this guy carelessly performs a backflip on the edge of a cliff, landing precariously on the side of the cliff. Miraculously, he doesn't tumble down, and this close call only seems to fuel his adrenaline. He goes on to perform more flips, seemingly encouraged by the danger. Would you try something this risky? The sheer thrill of defying gravity on the edge of danger might be tempting for some, but it's hard to ignore the potential for disaster. The adrenaline rush is palpable, but so is the risk. It's one thing to push limits and live on the edge, but this kind of stunt takes daring to a whole new level.
Ma! Ma!
And with that, we end today's episode. Thanks for staying with us. Before you go, are there clips and videos you think we should have featured by now that we haven't? Well, the good news is you can share them with us and we'll post them crediting you. Please send any such footage, including ones you recorded yourself, to us via classifiedcaptures@gmail.com. We'll do our thing and include it in our next episode. We can't wait to receive what you have. Share this video with someone you love, and I'll see you in the next one.